We got Fernando Flores in Los Angeles. We got Horacio Almada I always want to say DF, but La Ciudad de Mexico. And I'm in LA too. What's happening? What's cracking?
Hey, I got a quick question.
Here. Huh?
What's up?
Please excuse my ignorance, but isn't Mexico City DF same place?
They changed the name like 5 years ago or so. It was called Distrito Federal. Similar thing than Washington. It's a district of Colombia. This was a federal district. So they changed the name to Ciudad de Mexico, and now its political definition is like another state.
Oh,
that's why I said that, because I'm used to saying El DF, and we still refer to it as El DF. We don't, I mean, like, it's fucking weird just to say, oh, ¿dónde está CDMX?
A bunch of people still say DF because it's easier and faster.
Yeah, dude, like, ¿estás en la Ciudad de México? Oh, ¿estás en CDMX? Like, if they changed LA to fucking, like, COLA, I'm not gonna fucking say, oh, I'm in COLA, City of Los Angeles.
Well, you can say Cola.
Yeah, Cola. There you go. That would be funny, huh? Where do you live? I live in Cola.
I live in Cola. Where you at? I'm in Cola.
I love living in Cola.
In Cola.
Oh, I live in the nice part of Cola.
Yeah.
Where do you live, in the shitty part or the nice part? I live in the shitty part of Cola, bro. You don't want to go to the part of Cola I live in. That would be so fucking awkward. Dude, that's funny. I gotta coin that. Where do you live? I live in Cola, city of LA. But technically, or I live in county of LA, because we don't live in technically we don't live in the city of LA. We live in the county of LA.
County, that's right.
We live in a incorporated area of Los Angeles.
That would be similar to the conurbated area of Mexico City, right? El área conurbada.
Really? Is there? They have that in Mexico City too?
It's the parts that don't belong to the city. It belongs to Estado de Mexico, but they're part of the city. They're joined. You know, that's so they call it zona conurbada.
So like Coyoacán, does that belong to the city?
No, that's part of the city. But for example, Satélite in the north.
Oh yeah. I didn't know Satélite was like the nice area of the state of Mexico, or considered.
Well, I wouldn't consider it that nice. That would be Huizquilucan, where La Herradura is. It's like a fancy neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Which still sucks, but it's fancy.
So you're from originally from Toluca, right? So Toluca is the capital of the state. It's like being from Sacramento.
Yeah, something like that.
So
it's like a 45-minute drive from Mexico City.
I know, Dick. We did the show over there in the New Yorker where you did an hour before me, fucker. I'm never gonna forget that. This fucker.
It didn't take that long. It wasn't an hour.
This fucker books me to close his show, then goes up and does an hour before me. like, hold on, bro. I'm barely learning how to speak Spanish, and I gotta go after you. Like you know what I mean? Like fucking, and he's killing on top of that. And then I go up there, and I said this story before. Then I go up there, and a fucking couple start arguing at a table, and they start breaking up in the middle of the show, and everybody can hear it. Like, they're not even being quiet about it or discreet. They're like louder than me. No, pues vete la verga tú. No, pues chingas a tu madre. And like, I'm like, oh fuck. I mean, wow. I can't top this. Like, I don't have material that can top this shit. Like, have you ever had a situation like that, Fernando? Like being on stage?
I can't say I ever have. Like somebody.
Any weird situations?
You know what? I've created weird situations. Nothing that's weird that happened. You know what I mean? Like coincidentally or incidentally, I should say. Yeah. But you were actually there a few times. I think I used to do this joke back when. Remember the iTouch? You know, the iPod that was. Or exactly. I used to do this joke where I used to say, you know, we have prizes to give away, you know, at the club when I was hosting, and it's an iTouch, and you know, the loudest person gets the iTouch, and of course, you know, you're never going to be able to pick one person out, right? And it was all a setup where I'd be like, all right, just the dudes, and then the dudes would yell, right? And I was never going to pick a dude. Of course, I'm not going to pick a dude, right? And I go, okay, just the ladies, and then the ladies would yell. I'm like, I can't tell. whoever shows me their titties first gets the eye touch. And I did that at the Ice House. And this chick who was obviously a professional, she was a stripper, you know. Yeah, she's like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm serious." And she goes, "I'll do it." And the crowd goes crazy, right? Like, yeah. She starts taking off her clothes. I'm like, you know, some chicks before in the past would just flash, right? This chick is like, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. You know, she starts fucking stripping, bro. And she is hot, right? So she stands up and she pulls her, she has like a little spaghetti strap, you know, dress on. She pulls it down all the way down to her waist, you know, shows the crowd's going crazy, shakes them around. Everybody's, you know, having a great time, right? And everybody's clapping. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, you win. You know, I touch. And she's like, what? I'm like, I touch. I will touch them now. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I'm just fucking around. I never said I was going to give you an iPhone or an Apple iTouch. I just said you get iTouch. I get to touch them. Ooh. And she was like, you fucking asshole. And she storms out of the club. And her friends follow her, right? And I was like, oh, shit. That was bad. That was bad. The next day I show up to the club for something else completely different. And the owner's there of the club. And he goes, hey, how's everything? You staying out of trouble? Because by the way, she and her friends stormed out without paying, you know, their drink bill, right? Yeah. So I see the owner and he's like, hey, you know, what's up? Are you staying out of trouble? I'm like, why? What have you heard? And he's like, nothing. What did you do? And I was like, you don't know? And he goes, I don't know what. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I had to tell him, you know, that they stormed out of the club without paying because I made this girl flash her boobs and I didn't give her the prize. You know?
Dude, that is awkward. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
dude.
that was pretty awkward.
No, you know what? And you let her go all the way through with it. That's fucking funny.
Well, of course. Dude,
you're like, she's fucking hot. You're like, fuck it. If this gonna be my last show here, at least it's a hot chick. It's not some fucking some ugly fucking broad, you know? Like,
right. And then I got chewed out by another club owner. Well, I did the same thing, except this girl was in the front row, right? And so she's like, oh yeah, me. She flashes, right? And everybody's like, oh, let's see. So she was in the front row, right? So I told her, come up on stage so you can flash everybody. Do it again. So she comes up on stage and she flashes everybody. Everybody goes crazy. You know, cool, whatever. I did the joke. Haha, I touch. You know, you don't get shit, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, my God.
I get off stage, bring up the next comic. I get off stage and the club owner's there. This is a different club. And he calls me over and goes, come here. So I go over there and the dude chews me out, bro. I mean, he takes me to his office, locks the door, and he starts yelling at me. What the F are you doing? You can't do that shit. And I was like, oh, I've seen other people flash boobs at the club before. What's the problem now? Right? And he said, if they're going to do that, you cannot bring them on stage. I don't have that kind of license. And I was like, oh, you need a license to flash boobs on stage. Oh, I didn't know that. I was like, oh, shit, I didn't know that. He goes, if they're going to flash, they got to stay on the audience floor.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
like, oh, shit. So then from that point forward, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I was unaware.
Does that club still exist?
Yes, it is. It's in Hollywood on Sunset.
Oh, okay. Oh. Damn,
I don't really know if there's any logic to that, you know? If you need a license for someone willingly comes on stage and flash.
Well,
it's not a titty bar. We all know that. It's just a member of the audience just having fun, you know? You don't need an audience for people to have fun and just do crazy shit.
But it's considered an adult. That's considered adult entertainment.
It's still adult. It's a bar, right? They sell drinks. There are no minors allowed in, right?
Yeah, true that.
So I don't see the logic in it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'll tell you what the logic is. The logic is that it's a different way to sell a license that you didn't need previously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they will enforce that.
They want their money. They want their money.
Yeah. So the city or the county or the state or whatever, they'll invent a license and say you need this type of license if you're gonna show boobs, and this is how much it's gonna cost you. you know, and then if you violate that, you know, obviously there's a fine to that. So yeah, it's all about money.
So this is crazy because obviously this is a while back. Because if that shit happened like nowadays, like
they will destroy you just for asking, right?
You would not be on Zoom right now, my friend.
I know.
Who knows where you'd be right now? We'd probably be having this conversation. You'd be right next to Horacio in Mexico City. Hey, ¿cómo están? How's everything in LA right now? Like, fuck, I don't live there anymore. I had to move, dude. They ruined my
stuff similar is happening here. You know, they're going along with all this cancellation shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys know this band called Molotov? Molotov?
Yeah.
This happened today. They're trying to cancel them because of the lyrics they had on their songs from
the old
years ago.
The Puto song, of course.
Right. Puto, among others, because they have some crazy lyrics and they're so misogynistic that you wouldn't believe it. They're fucked up, but it was fun 20 years ago, you know? And they've changed a lot. And they're messing with those lyrics now, and it's kind of ridiculous. That's fucking old.
Yeah, how do you fucking, like, okay, like if you want to go see the Stray Cats, right? The Stray Cats, you know, they're a rockabilly band.
Yeah.
So if you want to go see the Stray Cats, and they're singing, well, she's sexy and 17, my little rock and roll queen, you know? They can't sing that song anymore, or they get fucking killed.
Dude, Los Ángeles Azules. Have you heard that? 17 años?
Oh, no lo he escuchado, dude.
That fucking song plays everywhere, around the world. And it's saying, amo su inocencia, 17 años, amo sus errores, 17 años.
Hey.
Nobody says shit about it.
Wait, what about Quinceañera? What about that fucking song, bro? Holy shit, dude. There's a lot of songs like that, dude. There's a lot of fucking songs that I can't, off the top of my head, I can't recollect some of the other songs, but I remember one day, shit, they could, I was listening to a song, I'm like, you couldn't fucking, the song 16 Candles.
16 Candles.
Dude, that guy wasn't, he didn't sing it when he was under 18. That motherfucker was over 18 singing that shit.
Yeah. Well, doesn't Depeche Mode have a song called Little 15?
Little 15. Yeah.
Little 15. Fuck, dude, that's the youngest. That's the youngest. Wow. I haven't heard anything under 15 yet. Like Sexy 14. Fuck that. Bro.
You turned me on 11. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Like, holy shit, dude. That's fucking, maybe they have that music somewhere. But
that's why Catholic priests don't write any songs, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
You know, it's funny because, going back to Molotov doesn't have any music about, maybe about underage shit. Like back in the days, their shit's misogynist.
The cover of that album, their very first album, it's called Donde Jugarán las Niñas.
Because Maná had Donde.
And the cover is like a skirt from a school, right? Like that plaid skirt.
Oh, shit.
With the underpants all the way down to their knees.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
And they're fucking with that picture, too. I mean, I know it's harsh, but nobody gave a fuck back then. You know?
Back then, that's a cool fucking cover, dude. Like, what
Of course it was.
Like, I remember
20, 25 years ago, it was like, oh, shit, that's great.
Dude, that's why all young men, back in the day, all young guys used to walk by the private schools, just the all-girls schools, just to fucking flirt.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Come on.
Not when you were over 18. I'm saying when we were younger.
Dude, those Aerosmith videos, you remember those with fucking Steven Tyler's daughter and the other blonde chick?
Oh, yeah.
Were they escaping the private school dressed like that?
Oh, shit. That's always been like not mine, I'm gonna be clear. But it's always been like people's fetishes, like a fetish.
It's super popular.
Because you see it like in TV shows, like La Escuelita VIP, que las vestían como de niñas, you know?
I fucking hate that show, yeah.
You didn't hate it. You like looking at the chicks. You just didn't like the humor. The jokes suck.
The humor sucks.
La Titanic, though, but La Titanic was easy on the eyes, bro. Come on. And they stopped the show. Didn't the guy grab her breast? Somebody on the show grabbed her breast with those things they used to pick up ice blocks?
Really? I didn't know about that.
Lo que usan para recoger los bloques de hielo. Esas
sí, las pinzas esas gigantes.
Yeah. So somebody grabbed one of her breasts with one of those. Damn, he got in trouble for it. Who was it?
I've never heard about it.
Facundo. El
Really?
Incognito. That show Incognito. Supposedly,
Yeah.
that's why his show got canceled. Because he pinched one of her breasts with one of those.
He's still working on TV.
No, but his show got canceled. I used to love that show Incognito. He used to do some crazy shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like he would go on the street and he would do el venga venga guy. And then you know what the venga venga guy is, Fernando?
No, man.
Oh, you know when you're in Mexico and like you find a parking and somebody says, hey,
Viene.
Yeah, viene. When you're parking, they'll tell you, viene. They'll back you up and then they charge you to watch your car.
Oh, shit.
So they have these people in Mexico. So this guy would go on with a hidden camera and he would do that. And it was like a prank show. And then he would say, like, if somebody didn't tip them, like, and he'd go to the nice areas of Mexico City where people are parking their BMWs or their Mercedes. And he's like, and then if they didn't tip him, he'd be like, all right, if you come out and there's scratches on your car, I don't fucking know. I don't know what happened, or you have a busted tail light. Don't fucking come call me after that. Like, and then the people would just stop it like, motherfucker, my shit better not be busted when I come out. Like I know you're going to do it. He's like, hey, you didn't want to pay me. I'm not going to keep my eyes on it. But he's a fucking camera guy. And people would get in his face, dude. Some crazy shit. Yeah, he was fucking crazy. I love that shit. Huh?
Did he ever get punched?
I don't know. No, not the ones I saw. And then there was one where he had this girl in the park and she was stripping. They were doing flipping the coin. And if she would say heads, and if it was tails, she had to take something off. And he had her down to her fucking, she was just covering her breast with an arm and had panties on in a public park in the middle of the day.
Holy shit.
So he would do shit. So the shit you were doing, bro, ain't shit like this motherfucker was doing it. He was doing it on the street. He's like, eye touch. You're gonna get an eye touch.
I don't think he ever got punched, but he got yelled like constantly.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a white looking, like he's a white Russian
He's
looking.
fucking blonde.
Yeah, he's albino almost. Because his hair is white, like a white eyebrows, white hair, you know. But he's like Russian Jew or something. That's what he looks like.
He's a son of immigrants, but I don't remember where they're from. Or he's translucent.
Yeah, but he's crazy. How about you, Horacio? Have you had anything crazy happen in the club, on stage, or in the audience?
Well, they tried to hit me in Puebla once.
What were you talking about?
I was trying to do a show. It was a sold out of a very small venue. And there were these guys in the first fucking row, and they wouldn't shut the fuck up. They were like bureaucrats, the bureaucrats. They worked for the government, and they were clients of the place because it was a bar, and they weren't used to do comedy shows that much. So they told them that they had to pay a ticket, that they didn't care, and they just paid it, and they stayed. And they wouldn't shut up in the first row with a sold out. So I kept fucking with them the whole time and doing the audience shout them like putos and stuff like that. And they got mad and they had a bodyguard with them.
Wow.
And they kept threatening me during the show.
Oh shit.
Wow.
But I started to work the crowd against them, and this like really big motherfucker just stomped on a table and started yelling, I paid the fucking ticket to see this guy. Make this guy shut the fuck up or take them out. And they started fighting among each other instead of hitting me, which I thanked.
Wow.
Right,
so wait, the big guy got up to defend you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's nice. Because usually people just stay quiet like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Like,
the manager of the place wanted to take the mic away from me because they were his friends and his clients. And I just backed out and I was like, no way, motherfucker. All these people paid to see the show. I'm not giving you the mic back. Just take them out.
He's probably back there.
They're like fucking 6 guys.
Ya cállate, Horacio. Son narcos, pendejos. Son narcos.
They were not. Afortunadamente, they were not.
Thank God, right?
And after the show, they changed. There was like a fucking terrace for them to sit and stop fucking the show. And they eventually got out there. It was like really weird to keep the show going after that. Yeah. But after a while, I could make it. And when the show was over, I stayed. There were like 5 other comedians in the place, and we were just hanging and drinking. And every time these guys went back to the bathroom, they they walk past me and say shit like, "We're gonna kick your ass after that," and blah blah blah. And when I went home, I just took the back door and went to my car, like around the block.
Yeah,
dude,
fuck that.
I don't know. No, I've never been threatened. I've never been. I stopped, dude. I remember this show in Arizona. The comedian, you guys, I don't want to mention names, but a comedian Fernando. I don't know if Horacio met him, but he got threatened. They were gonna kick his ass, man. And this guy was a fucking giant. I'm talking about this guy was like 6'5", 6'6", and not skinny. Like he looked like the Undertaker, bro. Like fucking that, like thick. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he looked like he could be a WWE motherfucker. But the guy was a regular. So I used to do this show in Chandler, Arizona. I would do it like once a month, and then or twice a month. I would go on a Sunday, and I would go like twice a month. I would leave on a Saturday, come back Monday morning. And this dude put it this way. This motherfucker, we had a stage that was probably like 2 feet off the ground. 1 foot or one, I don't remember, 1 foot or 2 foot. Maybe I'm exact. But he got in the comic's face, and he was the same height. Wow. And this comedian is not short. So maybe he was taller than 6'5", dude, because he was fucking tall. And he got in the face and said, "I'm gonna kick your fucking ass." He's like a biker dude, you know, like. So I go and I'm like this, bro. I get in between the comic and that guy, and I go like this. "Hey, come on, man, don't start no shit." And I'm looking up like, and he goes, "Cisco, man, you're my boy." The big dude, he's looking. "You're my boy. I like you, but this motherfucker's not funny, and he needs to stop talking shit." And I was like, and thankfully he liked me. You know, thankfully he liked me. But what happened was the comic was talking shit to his wife, and that's why.
Oh yeah.
Like, shut up, bitch. Like that. That's not funny. Like when you talk to a woman, like, shut up. You know, some comics will do that. Like, shut up, bitch, and they'll call a woman a bitch. Like at a show, I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you go to the extreme of insulting a female in a show? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, dude, no matter what, that's not even, like, I wouldn't even say it to a dude, "You're a bitch." I wouldn't even do that. Not because of fear of getting hit or whatever, but because now you've crossed the line. Now you're not being funny. You're being insulting. Like, you're trying to get people on your side by one-upping them on the insults. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So have you ever had a situation like that, Fernando?
No, I mean, not for me, but
you've seen comics.
Oh yeah, I've seen comics do that. And again, you know, it's names that, right, with people that you and I work with, people that you and I know.
Yeah.
You know, we've known for years.
Yeah.
You know, there was one guy calling. He was calling some dudes. Can I say the F word?
Yeah.
No, but it's like the F word that they call the derogatory term.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they were saying.
Homosexual.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he was calling these dudes faggots.
Okay. The comedian was.
The comedian.
You see, that's where you cross the line, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I remember when he got off stage, because, you know, he was just being insulting. He wasn't even being funny anymore. You know, but he was like, you know, look, I've joked that way before, you know, like, well, I'll ask, you know, where are the couples, right, in the house? And you pick on the couples, and then sometimes you see two dudes together or two girls together, and, you know, and I'll inquire about it. And I'm like, you know, it's okay to be gay, you know, we'll joke about it, you know, whatever. And my aim is to embarrass them, you know, like to push the buttons to embarrass, especially if it's two dudes, you know. Yeah. I like to mess around with them.
Yeah, and hold on, and you don't want them to be gay. You want them to be straight because it's not funny.
You want them to be straight.
Because if they're gay, it's not funny anymore.
It's not funny. Because we're like, "Are you guys gay?" And they're like, "Yeah." Well, that's the end of the joke.
Yeah,
you know
yeah, exactly.
No fucking joke.
It's not even funny anymore. Like, fuck, man.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. You know, way to go."
Who's on top? Who's on the bottom? That's the question. You know, like,
yeah, exactly. How do you guys flip a coin? How do you guys figure it out?
Who's the pitcher? Who's the catcher?
Right. You know, but this dude was like, you know, it started that way. You know, he asked these two dudes if they were there together, and then he just starts calling them faggots, and you're like, "Oh my god, dude, don't." You know, and I remember telling him when he got off, you know, he goes, "What? They were laughing." I'm like, "Nah, dude, but you know, you pushed it too far. Maybe maybe the first time you said it, maybe they laughed because they were shocked, right? But he kept doing it over and over. He was hosting the whole freaking show. I'm like, dude,
it's probably the same guy. You're probably talking about the same guy that almost got where I was telling you about. I'm telling you, I'll tell you later who it was.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's probably the same dude, bro. What's funny is, Manchita was on the show. I had Manchita on the podcast, and she was talking about how it's okay to talk about whatever you want to talk about, but you should never punch down. Like, you should never punch downward. Like, for instance, somebody who cannot defend themselves, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to go on here and you're going to start making fun of people who have, like, or quadriplegic, you can't fucking do that. You can't, you know what I mean? That's punching down, man. Like, you can't, people with a disability, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's a story, like I told this story, like, I remember my cousin and I were at a nightclub, and we're at an 80s bar. And I told this story. I don't care. I'll repeat it. Fuck, if you've seen it, fuck it. Pretend you haven't. But I'm at an 80s bar. And you know what 80s bars are, bro. They're fucking weird. People are kind of weird. Like, they come in with their long trench coat. Dudes wear eyeliner and fucking, I think they even wear eyelashes and shit. I don't fucking know. Like, they wear, like, they have the mullets, like 80s shit. Like, it's weird. So I have my cousin James, rest in peace. He was with me, and I grew up with. And so we're in this 80s club, and this girl walks by, and she's got a patch on her eye. So when she walks by, I'm like, oh, I go, these motherfuckers will do anything, dude. These motherfuckers will do anything, for attention. Right. I was like, so she walks by, I go, matey,
Oh,
like. So my cousin James goes, dude, don't fucking do that. You're a dick, bro. I go, dick. She's fucking, look at you. She was, dude, on top of this, she was wearing like, so this is another 80s thing. She was wearing those fucking black and white Beetlejuice striped stockings underneath the skirt. Yeah. So you're wearing those are like pirate stockings. So you're wearing those and a patch on your eye. I'm like, she's just dressing apart. But I go, why would you want to look only out of one eye? So anyway, she comes by again. And I go, again, dude. Dude, she comes back, lifts the patch. She lifts the patch and goes, oh, you think that shit's funny, motherfucker? And she has no eye, dude. And of course. And my cousin, and the funny thing is, my cousin is usually the one with the bad taste in jokes. Like, he's like, I fucking told you, dick. I told you to stop doing that shit. I told you. And I felt like the biggest heel, bro. Like, I swear.
Right.
I felt I look back on it. I can't believe I was going, matey, every time she walked by. Like I imagine myself being the person with the patch. Because I don't have a fucking eye. And every time I walk by somebody, they call me pirate. That's like really offensive. Like, I'm laughing, but I'm laughing at my stupidity. I'm not laughing at what happened. That I was so stupid as to go. But I was thinking, I'm in an 80s bar. These motherfuckers are just doing it. Like, really? You're going to wear a fucking patch to a club? How far are you going for attention? That's what was on my mind. Because there's a lot of fucking weirdos in there, dude. A lot of fucking weirdos.
Oh, yeah.
And I love 80s shit. But I know, like, people want to dress like flock of seagulls and shit. And, they want to dress like the band members and fucking they want to look like Robert Smith from The Cure. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, really, dude?
I can do that right now.
There you go. Yeah. Where's the eyeliner? Where's the eyeliner and the makeup, bro?
Exactly.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, so have you ever said something and got caught saying it? Like where you're like, oh fuck, they heard me. Like you're not trying, like you're not trying to be loud. Like you're trying to be conspicuous but fucking, or inconspicuous. What's the correct term? I don't know. I'm confused right now.
Yeah, I actually don't know what I know what you mean, but I can't think of the word either, man.
Yeah.
But you're trying to keep it low pro.
Yeah.
Trying to be discreet.
Yeah, low pro.
Discreet. There you go. Discreet. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you say it too fucking loud.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've had that happen to me many times, but I can't remember any like specific times. You know what I mean? It's like I always have this thing where I'd say something and my brother was with me and he would say, dude, shut the hell up. And I'm like, she can't hear me. There was one particular check. I'm trying to, one particular time when I said, something. And my brother was like, dude. And I'm like, she can't hear me. And she turned around and she goes, I heard you. And I was like, oh, shit. But I can't even remember what I said. Such a long time ago. You
want to hear something weird about something like that? I was in high school. And I remember I was in 9th grade. And I looked over at my friend. And I said, hey, I know what NWA stands for.
Oh,
it means niggas with attitudes. And a black guy was sitting in front of me, turned around and said, the fuck you say? And I said, I didn't name them. That's all I could say. Like, I didn't name them. I mean, that's what they're called, I said. And he goes, you want to get your face bashed in. And luckily he didn't hear me or nothing, but he was big, bro. So
I call that a Chavo del Ocho moment.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, right? El profesor Leonganiza. The motherfucker always got caught. Yeah. So yeah, dude, like that's one of the worst moments, but like I wasn't using the word, like that's what I'm saying. Like you could say something like, if you're saying, it's all the context. Like if you're telling a story and somebody said, hey, this fag or whatever, you're trying, you can't give the story like the story doesn't have the same effect if you say, oh, and then he said the F word, which fuck, no, for gays, and it just fucks the whole story up. Like honestly, just fuck. But with the threat we have from cancel culture, it's like we can't say shit now. Like, but I agree with what Manchita said was as long as you don't punch down. If you're not making fun of somebody punching down, then I think you're cool. You have the right to say whatever you want. But if you're trying to be offensive to somebody who's indefensible, then yeah, that's a little fucked up.
Yeah, there's an episode. You're familiar with Key and Peele, right?
Yeah.
So those guys, they did an episode like that where it was I forget which one of them. He's like an insult comic. It's like a little skit. He's in a comedy club, and he's insulting everybody in the club. He's picking on people, and it's hilarious. And there's a dude in the front row.
Oh, yeah. I see that one.
Physically deformed, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, now do me.
Oh, do me. I remember that.
Yeah. And then he's like,
he had like a burned face or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It was Jordan Peele.
Like, oh
yeah.
shit.
It was Jordan Peele.
Yeah. Yeah, and so he kept like avoiding him, and then when he finally said something, the whole club turned on him. They're like, you're a dick. That's kind of the way it feels like.
Yeah.
That is so true.
The guy was like, do me. Come on, say something about me.
Right.
Yeah, dude, I remember that shit was funny. Did you ever see the episode where he steals his joke?
No.
Fluffy comes out on that one. So.
Oh, really? Wow.
So the guy goes, the teachers, they're in algebra class or geometry, and he says the hypotenuse, and he goes, I'd like to get high off hypotenuse right now, and then Key goes, he said, I'd like to get high off hypotenuse, and everybody laughs. Like nobody laughed when Jordan Peele said
That's my joke.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Jordan Peele goes, that's my joke. That's my, and then the teacher goes, no. Like obviously they changed the names. She's like, it's okay. He's like, oh, and then the teacher's like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that, like to Key, like, and keeps laughing. And then Fluffy shows up. He goes, tell him your joke you wrote. And then Jordan Peele's like, what the fuck? That's my joke. He didn't write it. Like, why is he getting all the credit for my joke? So then Fluffy goes, hey, you want to come open my show for me? Because of the joke.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Like he gets an opening gig, like fucking off the joke that he stole off his buddy who said it right next to him, sitting in class. Right. Yeah, dude,
that's hilarious.
That's fucking funny. That's happened to me. That's happened to me before, where I've said something and then nobody laughs, and then somebody else repeats it and they laugh. And then I've done the opposite, where somebody says something and I go and I say a little louder so everybody hears me and they laugh. I'm like, I didn't see. He said that first. I mean, like I feel guilty.
You know what? You know what though? That is your conscience as a stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
That I repeated what this dude said.
Yeah.
Right, and everybody laughed. I gotta give him credit. Like this is the dude who said that. You know,
it's like Twitter. It's like Twitter before the retweet was invented, right?
Exactly.
You just copied something and said via, and you are at someone.
Guy.
No, remember when you had to type? Remember when you had to type hashtag retweet, hashtag RT?
No.
Before there was a retweet, the way you would retweet somebody is you put hashtag RT and then you would put at Mexicomic or Flores.
Oh yeah, dude. I do remember that shit. I remember. Oh yeah, that was when it was more complicated.
There was no
Twitter.
Retweet button. You had to hashtag RT meant you were retweeting and then you would put at Flores. I think yours is Flores Fernando or something, right? Like backwards.
No, I don't know.
One of yours was backwards. One of yours was Flores Fernando or some shit.
Yeah, on Facebook, I'm Flores Fernando.
Okay, I use Twitter more than anything, really. I use my Instagram, but I try to use my Twitter more because on Twitter, I think you have a little more freedom to say shit. Like, I mean, I'm not on Facebook really, except for my Facebook page, which just posts whatever I post to Instagram goes to that Facebook page. So I check it once a week, maybe once a month, most of the time. I'll check it, and then I'm like answering messages like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Oh fuck, sorry, man, I don't really check my Facebook. So if you want to contact me, email me or follow me on Twitter," I tell them. And the reason I'm on Twitter is because my mom is never gonna go on Twitter because it's too complicated for her.
Oh, right.
Plus a bunch of people I know will never go on it because it's too complicated for them. Like the whole at and hashtag throws them off. Like, what the fuck? Why gotta put at to fucking tell you something? I'm like, because that's how Twitter works. What the fuck? You trying to change the rules of Twitter? That's the way it works. Right. And I liked it when it was 160 characters, by the way. I didn't like the fuck that they made it longer now. Now you can type longer messages.
Right. Now it's 240 characters or more, I think, right?
That just breaks the whole concept, right? When you make a thread, you can just post whatever the fuck you want and just make it a thread. Do a blog, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Do a fucking blog. Especially.
I think somebody, if you have a rant that you want to post, can make a fucking blog and then rant it and then put the link on your Facebook or on your Twitter or whatever. And if somebody wants to read it, they go read it. You shouldn't have to fucking go through and then skip all. Like, that was a problem with Facebook, is I would have to, like, if I'm going through shit, reading posts or whatever, man, somebody would post a long ass fucking like bibliography, fucking works cited page, 12-point pica font, fucking, like with a, what I'm saying, with an intro, like the whole intro, the body, the fucking conclusion. I'm like, God damn, man, I was just trying to see how everybody's doing.
Right. Well, you know what? When Instagram first started, that's one thing that was my pet peeve with Instagram. Yeah. When people would write something like on and then or take a screenshot and then post it on Instagram, I'm like, I'm not going to Instagram to read, because on Instagram, when it first started, remember, it was just pictures.
Yep.
Just pictures. I'm on Instagram to see the pictures. If you're gonna post shit for this long ass paragraph, go back to Facebook or put it on Twitter. Instagram, I just want to see pictures. But now I'm guilty of that too.
Now we all put, me too. I'm guilty of that too. It does make sense. I think maybe they should put like if Facebook were smart, they would put some kind of fucking like what do you call that shit? Like what do you call it? What's it?
I'm guilty.
Is that you right there or what?
That's my Instagram, yeah.
No, an analytic or something, not an analytic, but yeah, like something, an algorithm that's, if you put words, it just removes it. Like, and then that way they get their people on Facebook and Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
Like, create an algorithm where you can't do that on fucking Facebook. It's either got to be a video or it's got to be a fucking picture. But
right.
but you know that they're not gonna, like, if it's just a picture of just, like, I get the ones like they put a picture and then it has text like, you know, when your mom surprises you. Like, how many? There's like millions of those. When your mom, I get sick of seeing the ones with the chancla, bro. I'm like over that. I'm so over people saying when your mom walks in with the chancla. I'm like, all right, dude, that's enough.
We've been hearing that for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Dude, Eddie Murphy did a joke about it. Eddie Murphy
did a joke about the chancla.
That's
exactly.
Right. That's right.
The boomerang.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I love that joke, but I'm just like, I'm so over a lot of the jokes, like all the mom shit. Like, if you, the problem is it gets views. People still like it. And motherfuckers that want to create like a following or be an influencer, they're gonna do whatever it takes to get likes, to get views, to get followers. And it's like the whole fucking like guy dressing like his mom. When your mom says this, when your mom says that, when your mom, I'm just so over it, dude. Like I've seen so many of them, and it's the same shit over and over. When your mom hits you with,
it's just recycling the same stuff. Yeah. You can do anything as a comic. You can touch any subject, but you have to do something new with it, right? Yeah. How many jokes have you heard about getting on an airplane, you know? Yeah. But you can do a new one that's just funny and new and fresh or something. Just try and do that if you're gonna touch the same subject again.
Yeah, like if you're gonna talk about your mom.
How many comics have something on gun control? A lot, right?
Yeah.
But Bill Burr and Jim Jeffries did great with the same topic, and it was new and it was funny as fuck. Exactly. So just go for it. But the chancla is so overused that it's like you hear chancla and you just go, oh, not another one, right?
Pepito jokes, man. Like Pepito jokes, right? Like I love a good Pepito joke, but fucking,
right.
And
I think I've heard them all.
And sometimes I like hearing the same one, you know, like I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. That one's funny, you know, like. But I'm not gonna fucking tell them on stage, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna go on there and be like, Pepito, agarren ese de los huevos, you know that one. You know that one, that Pepito one.
I think I've heard them all, bro.
You never heard that one?
You know,
agarren de los huevos. I don't know.
No, agarren a ese de los huevos, because he has eggs. He went to go sell eggs. Agarren a ese de los huevos. No, mejor de las orejas. You know, like fucking.
What you say?
You know what was the first Pepito joke ever?
Which one?
Pepito is on his own birth.
Cuéntalo en español, güey.
Pepito está naciendo.
Sí.
Pucha.
That's the first Pepito joke? What the fuck?
Well, it's because
a fucked up joke.
Well, that's because he was being born.
That's the first Pepito joke?
Not the first ever. It's the first because he's being born.
Dude.
Hey, pucha in pocho is no, pucha in pocho is push. Puchale. Pucha.
Oh, that's true.
Like pushing?
Yeah, like push. So I thought maybe the doctor was telling his mom. The doctor was telling his mom, pucha, and he came out, pucha.
Push. That's right. Van a puchar el carro. Push the car.
Then I'll have to say panocha.
There you go. Hey, but it's funny that's because that's just Mexicans who took, well, Latinos in general took the word push and turned it into puch and puchale.
Puchale.
Puchalo. Pucha. Yeah. That's exactly. I grew up saying that shit when I was a kid.
Yeah, I still say it. Say it. And same thing with like parquéate allí. You know, parquea el carro. That's not Spanish.
No.
My cousins from Sonora speak like that.
But you know what? In el norte,
parquéate, la troca.
Hey, in norte de Mexico, they talk like that, bro. So the border, it's funny because the border, above the border and then slightly below the border, it's like the same culture now. So as you go along from San Diego all the way to Brownsville, Texas, all along the border from California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, same people, like on both sides of the border. they talk the same language. They say pucha, la marqueta, ve a la marqueta, no al supermercado o al mercado, right? They say ve a la marqueta,
Right.
pucha la canasta,
La marqueta.
trae la troca para acá y
Yeah.
parqueala aquí. You know, ayúdame a puchar la
La
troca.
marqueta.
It's like really weird because when you know pochos and they would be speaking English with you, they just speak like perfect English, you know?
Yeah.
And you go, do you speak Spanish? Just fucking boy like this, and they start speaking like fucking this. What the fuck happened to you? When they change to Spanish, they just go, ya viste que sí, ahí está la pinche troca parada. And they speak English just like this.
They start talking like my family from Sinaloa. Hey, llámale a los pinches plebe, güey. A poca madre, no, toda madre, güey. Le dije, vete a la verga, cabrón, me quería chingar. You know, right?
Vamos a chingarnos unos botes.
My brother talks like
Con la
that.
plebada.
Yeah, my brother talks like that. He goes to Rancho over there in Sinaloa and he comes back all fucking amafiado and shit, talking like, al 100, compa. Aquí andamos al 100. And you know what? And I talk like that sometimes, but I think I talk like that because I'm kind of like clowning on him. Like, I'm kind of mocking him more than, but I'll be honest with you. When I would go to El Rancho, se te pega. You're there with them and they talk like that. So you're talking with them and you don't realize that you're talking like that. It's like when I come back from Mexico City, my wife says, pinche fresa, que fresa me regresaste. Because she says I start talking like you guys. And I'm like, the fuck? I've been there for fucking 5 days and this is the way they talk. And like you want to fit in. Like you don't want to look like the fucking black sheep in the group.
It just happens. It's not conscious, you know?
Yeah.
It just happens. When I go up north, it happens to me as well. Because all my cousins speak like, ándale pendejo, ya para de mamar, verga. I don't speak like that ever, but if I go, it just hits.
You're a fucking lawyer, bro. You can't be talking like that and shit.
Well, not at work, you know?
Hey. Yeah. You know what's funny, Horacio, is that when you were saying about pochos, how they speak a certain way and then they speak perfect English, all right? And I'll be honest with you. That's me. That's me. It really is. Because I'll speak a certain way in Spanish, right? In fact, look, I kid you not. This is not a joke. I was dating this girl, and this was a few years ago. She's a beautiful girl, man. I really liked her too. She dumped me. She broke up with me, and the reason that she broke up with me for was that she said I spoke white in English. She actually said, "You talk white," and that was her reason.
That was the deal
and I'm
breaker.
like, how the fuck am I supposed to sound? Yeah, that was the deal breaker. All right. Oh, and so let me tell you real quick story, how it went. Okay. So, and this was a setup on her part. One day she asked me, is there anything about me that you don't like? And of course, no, I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I don't like that. You know, you do this or you do that. I'm like, no, baby, you're perfect. Baby, you're perfect. You know what I mean? I'm not going to point out her flaws.
See, that's where you fucked up. That's where you fucked up.
That's where I fucked up.
Because you got to put her down so she feels less than you.
You can say I don't like your flat ass. You can say that.
Yeah, well, I should have, right? But no, I said, no, baby. But then I said, is there something about me that you don't like? And she's like, well, and I'm like, oh, fuck, here it goes, right? And so she said that. She's like, you talk white. I'm like, what do you mean I talk white? You know, like, how am I supposed to sound? You know, this is the way I talk. And she goes, well, I don't know. She goes, you talk white. So then fast forward a few days later, she introduces me to her best friend that, you know, she keeps talking about her friend Zoila. Oh, Zoila's such a crazy chick. Zoila's a crazy chick. She does this or she did that or whatever, right? So I heard all these stories about this chick Zoila, but I had never met her, you know? So finally she introduces me to her. You know, like, you know, we get to meet and she's like, this is my friend Zoila, this is, you know, Fernando. And, you know, I was like, oh, hey. And I said, nice to meet you, Zoila. I said, it's nice to finally meet you, Zoila. And Zoila said, oh my God, you do talk white. I'm like, oh, these bitches have been talking, you know? And then a few weeks after that, you know, when we were, you know, she's like, we got to talk. And, you know, she brought it up and she brought that up again. She was like, you talk white. And I'm like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to sound?
Yeah.
Are you,
you know what I mean?
Like
how am I supposed to sound?
That's what we sound.
Exactly. You know, I'm like, you want me to...
It's not that you sound white. It's just that you speak better English than she does. That's what it is. That's
Well,
all
that's what I think it was.
I don't like.
That's
I
what I
think
think it is.
like I can speak correct English, but I don't think I sound white. Like the Chicano the Mexican comes out. Like it comes out
Right.
every maybe fifth word, whereas to them it's every fucking word, and that's why we're different. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think I talk white.
Because you can enunciate. That's probably what it is. Because you can enunciate correctly.
But are you from California, Fernando?
Yes.
That's the thing. I as
Born
a
and
foreigner,
raised.
I can say that people from California, I can understand everything they say because they do enunciate.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I don't
there
understand. I don't understand Australians. I can't understand shit when they speak. I don't understand people from the southern states of the states. I can't understand whatever the fuck they're saying.
Because they cut off the
words. But I do understand people from California and people from New York.
Well, because the southern people
do say every fucking letter in the word.
So the people from the people in the south, speak like Puerto Ricans. They cut the words off.
Oh, Puerto Ricans, bro.
Because Puerto Ricans
married to a Puerto Rican for 10 years.
Yeah, because Puerto Ricans cut the words off in Spanish. They cut them off.
Yeah.
They don't enunciate the whole word.
Right.
You know, where and that's how the South is. Y'all did this and that, y'all, bone and that. They and then Australians, they speak English the way Chilenos speak Spanish. That's how I compare.
No.
Porque Chilenos, I could fucking barely understand their ass, bro. Like I can understand it because I've trained myself to listen. Like I'll watch Chileno movies and I don't watch it I'll put the English subtitles just because I don't want to miss what they're saying, but I know what or I put the Spanish subtitles. Sorry.
Dude, I put Spanish subtitles for Chileno comedians.
Yes.
Because I can't understand everything they say. They speak super fast and they cut every word.
Yes. But they speak it different and they speak it really, like I used to think Chilenos and Argentinians sounded the same, but they don't.
No, they don't.
The accent is not the same, but I think Argentinians and Uruguayans sound a little more similar.
Yeah.
They got to me, Argentinians speak Spanish with an Italian accent. That's
it's like that, just like that.
They speak
y nada, viste que este es el acento de estos boludos, viste.
Pero qué le pasa a este hombre? Like boludo, and they even do this like Italian, like Italiano.
Sos un boludo de mierda, viste.
La concha de tu madre, boludo, la concha de tu madre. Did you watch that Maradona special on Netflix? Did you watch the Maradona special on Netflix? That was pretty good, huh? That was pretty good. Of all places,
man. He can't even speak.
I know. Of all places, they send a drug addict to fucking Culiacan. Of all places. The capital of cocaine shit.
Exactly right.
Like, we got a place for you, Maradona. Culiacan, compa.
Culiacan. That's right.
Dude,
I can't believe he survived that year.
Dude, but he's got like a young ass wife. She's like smoking. And like he could barely walk and shit.
He can't walk. Both of his knees are swollen. That should hurt like hell. He can't even speak. He goes like,
he's got arthritis in both knees. Like, that's been playing soccer his whole life, dude. Like, taking those chingazos, But yeah, dude. But getting back to like, that's fucking weird that a girl would break up with somebody for saying you sound white.
It's weird.
You sound white, eh? Oh yeah, well you sound Canadian.
You sound white.
You sound Canadian, eh?
You sound Canadian, eh? What do you mean like? What do you mean I talk white? No. Here's the worst part, though. Here's the worst part, and I guess at that part, maybe she was right because she said to me, "You talk white," and I corrected her. I'm like, "It's you speak white, not you talk white." And she's like, "You see what I mean?"
You see, I feel like I'm in English class.
But I was fucking around. I was joking with her, halfway joking with her, because I really was correcting her. I really was. You know what I mean? But I was joking with her, as in,
Dude, it's pretty weird because when you're raised in this country in the United States, it's weird because like if you hear somebody like, if you see someone who's Mexican or brown and you see him speaking like totally and fucking like that, you're like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
What's wrong with you?
Sounds like a fucking white guy. And then you get the opposite, like motherfucker talking with an accent, like damn motherfucker talk right. Like I don't know if we just don't like that person and we're just trying to find a flaw to fuck with. You know what I mean? I don't like the way you talk. Or like Horacio speaks with an accent, but it doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't bother me because he lived in Mexico. So like, the fact that he speaks English is like a lot of them, it's impressive because they speak better English, I say, than my mom, who's been here for 40 years. And I'm like, how the fuck does a guy who never lived here speak better English than somebody who's been here for like 40 fucking years, man?
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? Like, or like my stepdad. My stepdad, all he knows is jazz. I don't know, Chad. You know, Chad, fuck, man.
I don't know.
That's it. That's all
Take it easy.
Yeah. Hey. What's the matter? He gets drunk. What's the matter? What's the matter with you? That's what my dad says. What's the matter with you? Yeah. What's the matter with you? That's my.
He's a fucking doctor.
Your dad's a doctor and shit.
Yeah, and he can get his head through English.
Tell him what's the matter with you. You're the doctor. You tell me what the fuck's the matter with me. Hey, I want to go back to Toluca and get those candies, man. They got some good candy and shit. They bombed. They got candy factories, Fernando. If you like Mexican candy.
In Toluca?
Oh yeah. I like Toluca. It was nice, man. They got
the little Mexican candies I like. Yeah.
They got the mountains with the snow on them. The snow-capped mountains right there. It's like in the middle of
Nevado de Toluca.
It's a volcano, though, right?
Yeah, Xinantecatl. It's the local name, but they call it Nevado de Toluca.
Vete la Xinantecatl. How? Vete la Xinantecatl. See, those fucking words right there. I know they're Nahuatl, but they kept those words to fuck with pochos, bro, because they know we can't pronounce that shit. Of course.
Exactly.
Vete la Xinantecatl. You know, like, what the fuck? Like I did a joke in Mexico City where I was like, I was lost and I'm trying to get directions and I'm on the phone. I'm like, well, where are you? I'm at fucking like the fuck is it's Popocatépetl, right? It's Popocatépetl, which is another volcano. But like seriously, like maybe 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to pronounce that shit. Like, I'd be fucked. I'd have to be like, okay, P-O-P-O. Like, I'd be spelling that shit out. Like, Popocatépetl. Like those.
I still can't say it, bro.
No, it's just weird that they kept those words, dude. That they've kept those words for so many years. I guess they ran out of words because there's so many fucking streets. Mexico City.
What is the name for notorious places and historic events? That's all that survived for the common knowledge, because there's a lot of people who still speak. There's like 500 languages in the country.
Really?
And they're a minority, but they're trying to save all those languages. But still, every Mexican can say Sinapecuaro, Sinsunsan,
Parangaricutirimícuaro.
Parangaricutirimícuaro.
Yeah. That's another volcano, right?
Yeah.
What are they all?
Paricutin.
What are they all? They're all fucking volcanoes. What the fuck, bro? Like,
a lot of them, not everyone, but yeah, not all of them.
Like, let's fuck with the Gabacho scientists. What is that volcano called? Parangaricutirimícuaro, pinche.
Oh, just imagine archaeologists. That's fucking with them, right? Like the archaeologists, they have to say Tezcatlipoca.
Oh yeah, exactly.
The easy one is Tlaloc, you know, just the syllables.
Yeah, dude. That's like Chichen Itza. They like going there because they can pronounce it.
Maya is easier. Yeah, Mayan is easier than Nahuatl.
Cancun, yeah. Chichen Itza, Tulum. That's why white people go to Cabo. They go from places they can pronounce.
Easy to pronounce.
They stop up, but they don't go to Zihuatanejo because that's too difficult to fucking pronounce.
They just go to Acapulco.
Acapulco, man. Puerto Vallarta. Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, dude, that makes sense. It makes sense.
It does make sense. You're right. It does make sense. I never even thought about it. But you're right. They go because they can fucking pronounce it.
San Miguel de Allende. San Miguel.
How are you going to tell your friends? Like, oh, where did you go? I went to fucking...
Parangaricutirimícuaro.
As a kid, I couldn't say Schwarzenegger, for example. I couldn't say Schwarzenegger. So I called him Arnoldo Muchas Letras.
That's like if we lived in what's that word? The longest word in English?
Oh, it's oh my God, I can't remember it right now.
I know, me neither. I'm drawing a fucking blank. That's like if we named our cities that shit. And then,
yeah, exactly.
¿Dónde vives, güey? No, pues vivo en califragilisticexpialidocious. No mames, cabrón. ¿Dónde?
That's the fucking longest word, man. I can't
That's the
remember
one.
it
No,
right
that's
now.
the one. Califragilisticexpialidocious.
No. There is. Hold on. Computer. What is the longest word in the English language? Oh, it's 45 letters long. I can't remember. It's just like what you said about the volcano. It's all, okay, computer, cancel. Thank you.
So it's a long ass 45-letter word.
It's 45 letter
There's
word.
only fucking 26, 27 in the alphabet.
Well, they can repeat the words. I mean, they repeat the letters.
I get that, but shit,
But
dude.
is that English or is that like something Native American?
Well, no, it was some like scientific word. You know what I mean? I just asked my
like desoxyribonucleic acid, something like that.
Some
right?
shit like that. Yeah, it was some
That makes
scientific
sense.
word.
Oh, like
Yeah,
the DNA? What is it? I forgot.
Ácido desoxirribonucleico.
Something, yeah. Eso. Yeah, there you go.
He had a case a long time ago. When he was doing law, he had a case.
Hey,
what's that word? What's that word, Fernando? What's that word on the way to Vegas? It's spelled XYZXY or some shit. What is it?
Oh yeah. How do you even pronounce that? It's an exit, right? It's called XXYX or some shit like that.
Dude,
I can't even pronounce that.
Hay una salida en el freeway cuando vas en rumbo a Las Vegas que es ZX or XYZXX. How do you pronounce that shit?
I don't know. I know.
Zoom.
Hey, there's a street on the way to Ensenada. When you're driving down from like Tijuana to Ensenada, and it's like a street, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. The exit is like a sharp right angle, and the exit is called Sal Si Puedes. Sal Si Puedes.
Oh my God, that's
because you're going really fast, and the fucking street's just like exit.
That sounds
you know what I mean? So,
no pude.
That sounds like some of my relationships when I was younger. Sal si puedes.
Exactly. That's why you have so many kids, bro.
Were you ever, dude? I only have fucking 3, dude.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
Hey, were you ever in a relationship like that where you thought, how am I gonna get out of this? Were you guys ever?
Me?
Yeah. Any of you, like both of you?
I can't say that. No, I can't say that I was ever in a relationship like that. But I could tell you that, and it's funny. I had this conversation with somebody not too long ago, where I was, I've been single now for 11 years.
Wow.
In fact, I've been single for 11 years.
Damn, has it been that long? I remember when you got divorced, dude. I remember you saying, I'm getting a divorce. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, we split up in 2009, but the divorce wasn't actually finalized until 2014.
Oh, okay.
But we actually separated. Legal separation in 2009, and the thing about with the actual divorce being finalized in 2014, it's not that we were fighting or anything like that. No. It's just that we just put it off finalizing it due to some insurance things going on. You know what I mean? I don't want to admit it. I could be arrested for fraud.
Really?
Anyway,
that's not fraud. That's not fraud.
Well. Technically, no, you're right. It's not fraud.
It's not fraud because you were married. I mean, like if you married someone just to give them that, then that's different. You were actually married, and then shit. But you're like it's to make sure she's safe, or to make sure your daughter's safe, or I don't know, to make sure you're safe. I don't know who, you keep for benefits or whatever, right? For insurance benefits or whatever, right?
That's exactly what it was. I kept her on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of my insurance, so that she would have medical insurance for a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, aside from that, going back to your question, where you're saying, have I ever been stuck in a relationship where I'm like, fuck, how am I going to get out of this? No, but I had this conversation recently, like I said, where like I'll start flirting with a girl, I start talking to a girl, you know, and things start going well, right? And if she responds in a way like, "Oh shit, you know, this is pretty cool," I start thinking in my head, you know, what's my exit strategy? You know, even before anything happens, you know what I mean? Like, how am I going to get out of this if I have to? You know what I mean? So, I mean, maybe that's the thing, and maybe that's why I've been single for 11 fucking years, because I'm already thinking exit strategy went well.
Oh, dude,
You know,
Eso
wrong
es ser
has happened, and I'm
precavido.
already,
Eso es ser precavido.
You never been that way, Horacio?
eso.
Horacio, you haven't had that? Like, have you had, do you have an exit strategy?
No, I don't think I have ever thought of that, but I should have.
Because look, every man works on conquering a woman, but they never work on their exit strategy. Like every man works like, oh, maybe I'll ask her out for a cup of coffee, or I'll ask her out to dinner, or I'll comment on her blouse, or I'll say how nice her hair is. But we don't think about like, we'll go to dinner and I'll whip my dick out so she thinks I'm weird. You know, like,
okay, so hold on. So here's the thing. I got to tell you this because it's important. Because somebody I know has a really cool exit strategy.
Okay.
And he told me, and this is someone I love and respect. No names mentioned though, right? But he told me it's really simple and goes, when you want to, you know, exit, basically, what you do, you tell.
Hold on, it's cutting. Hold
God.
on, could you repeat it? It's cutting off. It's cutting off, bro.
Oh yeah, I said it's simple. You know, for an exit strategy, you simply tell the girl that in your past relationship, that you had threesomes all the time. You had with you and two other girls, and that's what you're used to, and you just can't go back to just the one girl. So if you want to continue with this relationship, she has to bring in a friend, you know, a girlfriend, right? So you guys can have threesomes all the time. That way, she'll either break up with you, which is what you wanted. That's your exit strategy. Or she'll bring in a friend. And you get the threesome. Win-win, right?
But I would throw one more. When you tell her, you say, but here's the catch. I have to meet your friends, and I have to tell you which one.
Oh yeah.
because I don't.
But you can't pick them.
You can't bring Petra. I don't want Petra.
What's wrong with Petra?
Now I know what happened with Zoila.
Yeah. No. See, now we know she was telling her friend, and then she said, "Yeah, but he speaks like a white guy." And then her friend was like, "Fuck that. I'm not down with that." Like I would fuck him if he sounded like he just got out of jail, but I wouldn't fuck him if he can enunciate. I don't fuck guys that enunciate well.
Right.
That's above my pay grade.
Fuck that.
Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, what kind of girl says, "No, I can't work with a guy who can fucking pronounce shit correctly"? That's just too much. Like, I don't mind him cheating on me. I don't mind him fucking mooching off me. But if the motherfucker's gonna enunciate and speak fucking correctly, oh hell no, that's where I draw the line.
What? He's educated? Fuck him.
How am I gonna present him to my family? You know what I mean? What are they gonna think of me? You know, like, what kind of shit is that, dude?
Exactly. Where'd you find this guy? He's all nice to meet you.
Dude, I'm curious to know, and we're going backwards, but it's all right. I'm curious to know what all the guys she's dated sound like.
Oh yeah, no, I'd like to know that too.
What do they sound like, Felipe Esparza or what? What's up, fool? Hey, dog, what the fuck? You want to fuck or what? Like, nah, man.
What would she say to me? Because I look white, but I don't speak white at all.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Oh, dude, well, like, so check that out. Somos güeros, right? So, like, in Mexico, there's a lot of discrimination against people who are darker because they're browner or whatever. There's that classism shit. In the U.S., it's backwards, bro. I got discriminated against because I was lighter than everybody. So I would get fucked with by the other kids.
You're like Miklo.
el pinche güero, el pinche güero culero,
Pinche-
you know, like
Pinche Miklo.
pinche güero
Pinche güero cagaleche.
Yeah, all that shit. Pinche güero culo prieto. You know, like, you know, like I got shit. So I was talking about this the other day. You go to, you know, I had Vallarta and Talavera on here with, who else did I have on here? Oh, I had Big Citric. And I was telling them that when I go to casting, when I go to auditions, everybody looks like Fernando. Like everybody in there. Yeah, like, I mean, you have dark hair, you know, the darker color eyes and all that. So everybody in audition looks like you. And then I walk in, fucking güero, and I look like nobody in there. And I'm like, and in the casting, it says, we want an authentic looking Hispanic, this and that. And I look at everybody and I go, well, there goes my fucking chances. They're not going to give it to me because, I mean, because my eyes are clear or, you know, lighter and my hair is lighter and I have no hair and fucking that's the last thing they want. Like I can, but then you lose it because you sound white. Like they won't take you. Like that's what you told.
Well,
hey,
I can tell you.
That's what you should have told the chick. What are you, a fucking casting agent? I sound too white.
What the fuck's wrong with you, bitch? Totally. You know what I mean?
Are you casting me for a role and shit? Like, oh, you're too white.
You know, but you know, it's funny that you mentioned that. I went to an audition one time for McDonald's, for a McDonald's commercial.
Okay.
And they were introducing, this is when they started bringing up salads, right? Like they had the salad shaker and all that shit, long time ago. And so they had like this new healthy food menu, blah, blah, blah. And they send me to this audition. And the thing, you know, the casting sheet, what they're looking for,
the breakdown.
It tells you what they're looking for specifically.
Exactly. Yes.
You know, and I mean, right there, it says, you know, the person has to be in good shape, as in, you know, if they're pushing health food, right? And same deal, bro. I walk in and everybody's like this tall, statuesque, good-looking, healthy-looking, you know, bodies, whatever. They don't eat at McDonald's, and I walk in eating a fucking cheeseburger, and I'm a fat guy. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm not gonna get this fucking part, man. And no, I didn't. Absolutely not. But I read for it. You know, I read for it.
That's a funny thing about McDonald's, Burger King, all those places. If you look at their commercials, always skinny guys, fit guys. Like, those motherfuckers are eating Burger King and Carl's Jr. and McDonald's and all. They don't eat that shit. But that's what they don't want, because they want to make it look like, oh, everybody enjoys McDonald's. Bullshit. Bullshit, motherfucker. Won't you be real? Motherfuckers should walk in there. You should actually, the commercial should be a guy taking an insulin shot before he has a cheeseburger.
This is all I have left. This is all I have left here.
Like, hey, if you're gonna order me a milkshake, shoot me up, motherfucker. Shoot me up. Give my insulin shot, because that's the real fucking shit right there. That's the truth.
You know what's the only part I ever had on a commercial?
What was it?
It was a part for Cinépolis.
Oh, okay.
This movie theaters chain.
We have them here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have them in California.
Cinépolis. They're from Morelia. They're from Michoacán.
But there's one in Pico Rivera, as far as I know. Cinépolis.
Huh?
Yeah, there is.
There's one in Pico Rivera. There's a couple of them.
Well, they're huge. And I got a part for a commercial for them, and I was doing like Zach Galifianakis with a baby hanging here. That's all the parts I've ever got.
I can see that. I can see that. Zach Galifianakis, I can see that. You know what's funny is that all the movie theaters here are mad at Cinépolis because they said they're coming and taking their clients.
They're what?
I'm just kidding. I'm fucking around, bro.
Because I didn't understand anyway.
It's because it's a Mexican chain.
Because it's a Mexican chain, so all the American chains are mad because they said they're coming here and taking all the American jobs. Fucking Cinépolis.
Cinépolis.
No, I heard that.
What's funny is that
I heard it's a nice theater. I heard it's a nice theater.
It actually is. It is. It is a nice theater. They have the one in Pico Rivera. They have one particular theater that has a playground inside.
What?
And yes. Remember the old tiny drive-throughs? You know that the drive-throughs back in the day where they had like a playground.
Yes.
But then the movie would start and the kids would have to get off the playground. It's the same thing. You go in there and your kids can play on the playground. It's right under the movie screen, right? Oh, there's one that has it on the side of the wall, and it's like like the climbing shit and the slides, whatever.
Jungle gyms and all that.
Yeah, jungle gyms. But when the movie starts, all the kids got to get off the playground.
Yeah, I like to see that one. That's gotta be rough. That's gotta be fucking rough.
Exactly.
Vente, Miguelito, siéntate. Siéntate, Miguelito. Ya va a empezar, Miguelito.
The same chain has.
Yo quiero jugar. Yo quiero jugar.
They have that here so they can separate their clients. Because if you go to a movie with your kids, the rest of the clients complain.
Oh,
they don't want people with kids in the same rooms. That's why they invented that.
They should make one with plexiglass so you can keep your eye on your kid when you're watching the movie. Like put some plexiglass.
I was invited by Cinepolis to watch the Oscars on one of their rooms, and they had a plexiglass like a cage. Yeah. So you can get in there and make transmissions with your phone.
Oh, wow.
And you will interrupt the rest.
Oh, wow.
That was cool.
Yeah, that's fucking, they're thinking ahead, dude. That's crazy. That's interesting, dude.
Right.
That's totally fucking interesting.
Yeah. And you have at the Cinepolis in Pico Rivera, they have the 4D theater where I went to go see Star Wars, the last Star Wars movie, the Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Right? So you sit in the chair and the chair will move back and forth. They'll spray water in your face.
Yeah.
You know that part where they were fighting in the ocean and it's like water splashing everywhere? They spray water in your fucking face. You know what I mean?
It's like mist, right? It's like mist, right?
It's like mist. Yeah, it's like mist. It's
because
like they're gonna squirt you in the eye, but no, it's like mist.
Because I saw the movie, we went to the 4D theater at I think it's the Regency at LAtv.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah,
right next to where the Lakers play, Staples Center and all that, Microsoft. And we saw an animated movie. It was the one. It was the one where it wasn't Coco. It was the one about Dia de los Muertos. That's Coco, right? No.
Coco's Dia de los Muertos. But they have a movie called.
No, it wasn't that
another one.
Era el otro donde estaba la voz era de Kate del Castillo, and then the main dude was a white guy. It was an animation. I can't fucking remember, but yeah, I remember. And then the chair moved, and then it blew air at you, like when they were flying. Yes. It was blowing air at you and shit like that. That was fucking badass, though, dude. That was and the reason I went was because somebody gave me a gift card for like $50 because that shit's expensive, bro.
It is expensive.
So I had a gift card for $50 and I still ended up paying $51 to go.
Movie theaters are too expensive there.
Wow.
Like way too expensive. That same thing, like 4DX in Mexico will cost you like 150 pesos. That's
$7? Like $10? Fuck.
Let's go.
Hey, let's go to TJ. It's right here. There's fucking
there. 2-hour drive, real quick.
Because it is an interesting experience, dude. But
I don't know people from El Paso that go to the movies to Ciudad Juárez. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, because
the theaters are great and they're way cheaper.
$28, bro. It costs $28. It costs to see a 4D movie.
Oh yeah.
A regular movie, $16, senor. It's like $16 if you want to go on a night. A matinee is like what, $8, $10?
Yeah.
A regular room will cost like 80 pesos here.
Shit.
80 pesos. How much is that?
$5.
Something like that.
$5. Damn, that's fucking so cheap, dude. How much is a popcorn?
The bigger one will cost, I don't know, like 70, between 70 and 100 pesos.
Damn. Is that like free refills?
I don't know about the refills because you never end those. It's like a huge pocket of popcorn.
No, hey, here they give you the big one and it's a free refill. But seriously, like who the fuck wants to walk out of the movie to go get a refill? Like you're watching the fuck like you always send your kid like, hey, go get a free fill cup. You know, like I'm not gonna miss the movie. You miss it, fucker. Like like.
Well, I used to date a girl who would refill it to take it to her mom back at her house.
Really? Oh, I guess on the way out, fill it up. So the movie I saw was the Book of Life.
Popcorn is good. People really like it.
It is really good. It is really good. I don't know what it is about the movie theater popcorn, but it tastes better than anywhere else. Like I don't know
Yeah.
I don't know if they just fucking the butter, what they use. Hey, the movie I saw was The Book of Life.
There you go, The Book of Life. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't see it, but I remember it.
I don't
It's
even know
basically
what
the
that
same
is.
thing.
It's probably, I mean, obviously it's called something else in Spanish, pero Kate del Castillo was like the main female and voice in that movie.
El libro de la vida.
Sí, El libro de la vida.
Mm.
Creo que fue dirigido por un mexicano, ¿no?
Jorge Gutierrez. He wrote it and he directed. Yeah. It's Ron Perlman, the voice. Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. Oh, shit.
Well, that should be the villain because Channing Tatum
Yeah, Channing
and
Tatum.
Diego Luna.
Yeah, Diego Luna. Channing Tatum. I told you,
It's not Kate del Castillo, dude. It's Zoe Saldaña.
Oh, my bad then. Where's Kate del Castillo on then? Is she on?
No, she's the death.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
la muerte.
Yeah, I know she was in it. Yeah.
Oh,
I think Angela Johnson was in it too. She had her voice in there.
oh wow.
Danny Trejo. He can't speak Spanish, but he's there.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about like guys that like become famous in like American cinema and they're always portrayed as the Mexican, but then they're like they can't speak Spanish? Does that bother you?
Yeah, it does. But it's so usual because they don't ever get Spanish-speaking people for any part that requires to speak Spanish.
Right.
Because since it's made for American audiences, they just don't care. It's like I used to live with an Italian girl when I lived back in Playa del Carmen, and we were watching The Sopranos, and no one spoke Italian. She just told me, this guy can't speak Italian. He's just saying nonsense. That's how
Gibberish.
we see
He's just
people
using
speaking
gibberish.
Spanish. You know, I used to watch Weeds. You remember that series?
Yeah, Weeds. Yeah.
And there was this a guy that looked like you, and he was like a big drug dealer. And he said, "I want to go to the farmacia."
Oh yeah.
Fucking farmacia and stuff like that. No one can speak Spanish, and they're just starting to hire real Spanish-speaking people, like Demian Bichir or Kate del Castillo. You know, Demian Bichir was in Hateful Eight. You know, Tarantino's.
Oh, he's a great actor, Damian.
And
he has a brother.
Like
Does he have a brother? Does he have a brother too?
Two brothers.
Yeah, there's two brothers, right?
And they're good actors, all of them.
They're like the Wilsons, or we're not the Wilsons. No, what are they? The ¿Cómo se llaman?
The Baldwins.
The Baldwins. They're like the There's like fucking 30 Baldwins. Like every time I see a movie, Martin Baldwin. Like what the fuck? Who's this guy? You know,
Pedro Baldwin.
Yeah, Pedro Baldwin. Like
there are three Bichirs: Demian, Odiseo, and Bruno Bichir.
Yeah, Bruno. But Damian Bichir is the one that. Is he the one from the movie? Damn, it was up for an Oscar, or he won an Oscar, or was up for an Oscar, right? In a movie.
No, I don't think he was not even nominated, but he was in movies that were nominated for other stuff. But not him personally. I don't think so. I would remember. I think.
Yeah, he's such a good actor. He was in a movie that I saw a long time ago. Fuck, I can't remember what it's called either. And it was about him being a reporter. And then there's a bunch of people robbing. Like there's a scene where that guy from Perros, Amores Perros, the guy that que me chingaste mi perro, cabrón.
Gael Garcia?
No, the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
The
one that was with the dyed hair and that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, me chingaste mi perro, me vas a dar el tuyo, cabrón. That guy. He was in it, and he's robbing a restaurant, like in a nice part of Mexico City. I know you've probably seen it. It was a very popular movie. But I can't remember what the fuck it was called.
A Mexican movie?
Yeah, Damian Bichir, Damian or Bruno, one of them played a reporter, and he was trying to bust the politicians. He was trying to like go undercover to get their ass. It was such a fucking good movie. Have you ever
remember anything with him as a reporter?
Have you ever watched any Mexican? La película la tengo. I just don't remember what it's called. Have you ever watched any Mexican movies, Fernando?
Oh yeah.
What's the last one that you remember? Los hermanos Almadas.
No.
Los tíos de Horacio.
Man. Well, I can't remember the last Mexican movie I saw.
¿Y tu mamá también or what?
Y tu mamá también, como agua like water for chocolate, right? No.
Agua para chocolate.
I've never seen that movie. I never
saw it either. I was just kidding.
It's good because it's a great book. from Isabel Allende. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how it ages because it's like 30 years ago it was made, right?
Yeah, I know it's old.
Yeah, it's an old movie.
You don't remember any of those Spanish ones you've seen?
Oh, I don't remember any recent ones, right? But when I was a kid, my mom and dad used to take us, to the
$1 Million.
No. There was a drive-in movie theater. I think it was in Whittier called the Sundown, right? In English, it was called the Sundown. Yeah. But of course, my mom and dad, my mom especially, doesn't speak English, so she used to say, vamos a ir al Sundown, and I was like, okay, cool. El Sundown, and I just thought that's what it was called.
Yeah.
And we used to go see all kinds of fucking movies there. There were movies there. I keep telling my younger brother, who's too young to remember this, I said there was a movie that we saw where it was a Mexican superhero, all right, and he was like Zorro, except he had a whip, and his name was called El Látigo. Right, that's what they called him, and he would go around instead of Zorro with the he would do shit with the whip, but he was dressed like Zorro. He had the hat.
El Látigo.
El Látigo.
Oh, hold on, I gotta look this up.
Look that shit up.
I'm doing it right now because I never heard of it.
El Látigo.
Dude, keep in mind, I'm 47 years old.
Dude, it's a movie from the 40s.
I was gonna say I'm 47 years old, and I was a kid. I was like 5 when I saw it. So it's an old movie. It's a very old movie.
Oh, but he says
it was from the 40s.
Yeah.
It was from the 40s, though. Shit. Maybe they had a remake because it was in color.
Oh, yeah. The Mexican is from the 50s. El Látigo Negro.
Oh, El Látigo Negro. There you go.
No, I found
Luis
it.
Aguilar. That's like a big star from the 50s. Yeah.
No, I found it in 1978.
Okay, 1978 sounds more like it because it was in color.
Watch. I'm going to show it to you right now.
El Látigo. Here it is. Yeah. Mario Almada is in there.
Yeah, Gustavo Rojo.
Young Mario Almada.
There it is.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, shit. Check out. That's funny.
Juan Miranda, Mario Almada, Gustavo Rojo, Yolanda Ochoa, Angelica Chain. Oh, Angelica Chain. She used to get naked in movies.
Oh, yeah, man. When I was a kid, we'd go see these Spanish movies. And I think that was the very first time I ever saw a naked woman was in one of these movies, man.
You probably saw.
I have a joke about that.
You probably saw
because I grew up in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
And I'm comparing how watching boobs was so very different. It was like a very big deal for us as kids.
Yeah.
And I say we had to watch a fucking boring movie in Cine Mexicano por cable just to watch Isela Vega's tits.
Dude, you know what's fucked up is that's my friend's mom. My friend Shaula, she was on the podcast the other day with who else did I have on here? I forgot who I had on here, and we were talking about it. And I know
Isela Vega. When I worked at Universal Music, she used to represent Juan Gabriel.
Yeah, she's really good.
I met her.
Yeah, dude. She was with Juan Gabriel the night before he died.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's funny because my friend Shaula said, "Dude, I didn't know you liked Juan Gabriel. I would have invited you to the concert." And they were backstage. So I would have been backstage with Juan Gabriel the night before he died.
Wow.
Like that from that show, he got carried off to the hospital or wherever they took him. And
did you know she tried to do stand-up? Isela Vega?
I got her the show at Beer Hall.
You were there?
No,
she was like 80 years old, and that was her first time doing stand-up.
Yeah, but I made the show for her. Yo le conseguí el show con el Tuti.
Really?
Yeah, Shaula.
Wow.
Shaula's my friend. Renee was on it. Who else was on it? I forgot. She had some friends, I guess she put on there on the show. But yeah, I got her that show because Shaula, I'm the one that got Shaula to do stand-up comedy. I told her, you should do it. And then she goes, my mom wants to do it. I go, for real? She goes, so I told Shaula, you got to write, dude. You got to write about how your friends were masturbating to your mom. Like you got to, like, seriously, like, I know it. You know what I mean? That's what stand-up comedy is. Like, that's your pain from your youth. I'm sure I'm sure that really fucked with you when you were a little girl, that all your friends fucking thought your mom was hot and they'd seen her naked in movies.
Right.
And she was hot.
Yeah. And her dad, and then my friend Chala's dad is Jorge Luque. He was like the Mexican Rambo in all the movies.
He was Mr. Universo, yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. I did not know. And you've seen him, Fernando. You've seen Jorge Luque. Watch, I'll show you. You know who he is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Okay. Yeah, dude. So, yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. Like that to hang out with these people, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, that's my mom." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Yeah." I didn't say like, "Oh, I remember her movies." Like,
I was just trying to make a sketch for something I'm experimenting with some friends here, and I made a character about a German movie critic, and I was making reviews about old Mexican movies, like old comic movies that are like raunchy, you know.
yeah.
And my first review was El Macho Biónico.
I never seen that one.
Dude, that's so fucking funny. It's on Vimeo. Look for it. El Macho Biónico.
It's on Vimeo?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna look that shit
It's this
up.
guy that crashes a plane and he loses his dick. And so he travels to Houston and goes to some CIA office to get a bionic dick. It was when $6 million man was in fashion and bionic woman, you know.
No cheating.
And he goes, "How much will it cost?" It goes, "That cost you $9 million." Come on, you made Steve Austin for $6 million. It's a more expensive part, you know. It's a dick. And his love interest is Isela Vega. It's a really shitty movie, but it's fun as fuck.
No, dude, do you remember Lin May?
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember Lin May, Fernando?
Lin May.
So,
sounds familiar.
Lin May was this Chinese-looking, voluptuous woman that got naked in all those fucking comedies with Luis de Alba, El Caballo Rojas.
She's Chinese-Mexican, yeah.
She's Chinese-Mexican. She's like,
oh, wow.
I never seen her daughter. I heard her daughter was pretty hot or some shit.
I have no idea. Lin May was hot, like in the 1800s, but she was.
She was a double bagger though, bro.
And now she just looks like an alien.
She was a double bagger though on the face. Oh no, you have to cover the face.
Well, not in the 1800s, but now she just looks like a monster. She just kept on operating her face, her boobs, her ass, everything. She's like 200 years old.
If I'm not mistaken, Angelica Chain, or whatever.
Chain.
She was like a güera, right? Like, or she used to dye her hair güera or some shit. But she used to get naked in movies. I know she did. She was in all those movies like Dia de los Albañiles.
Like Psicomedia Mexicana. That's what they call the gender.
Dude, those movies were funny as fuck, bro. It was all picardía, dude. Oh, los verduleros. Los fucking...
El Día de los Albañiles 3.
Yeah, dude. With Alfonso Sayas, that guy's seen more titties than anybody, I think. Him and ¿cómo se llamaba el otro güey? It was
Rafael
either
Inclán.
Rafael Inclán, and it was always Rafael Inclán or Alfonso Sayas. It was one or the other as the main character. And then Juan Camané was on the side.
What's the name of that guy?
Luis de Alba.
Luis de Alba.
Luis de Alba. Dude,
we were walking on the street. It was Carlos Vallarta, Coco Celis, I don't remember which else, and me. And a car stopped. He honked. And hey, you guys are comedians. And it was Luis de Alba.
Really?
In the street. And he only recognized Carlos, not the rest of us. But he was like excited to see Carlos in the street.
He saw Carlos on Netflix and shit.
Dude, that's weird.
Didn't you take me to a bar where all those comedians used to go? We went to go eat. It was on a corner.
La Casa de los Comediantes.
Yeah, you took me to, fuimos a comer y que nos daban como, they gave us a lot of food, que te seguían trayendo de comida, te daban un caldo y luego te daban un aperitivo y luego te daban quién sabe qué.
It was like a cantina. If you keep on buying drinks, they keep serving you food.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy, dude. We were in there. Jason Rouse was with us.
Hey.
Oh,
yeah, because Jason Rouse was singing, because there was mariachi music playing, and he was like,
right.
I think I still have the video. Yeah, I remember that, dude. I think I had like 2 beers, but fuck, I was full. Shit, they brought us like a bunch of food and shit.
Macario took us that place.
Yeah, Macario took. But you've been there before, right?
Yeah.
Have you been there since?
I don't think I have. It's not that good.
How about el pescadito?
Oof, I fucking love el pescadito.
Oh, dude, if you
Those
like
are
fish,
seafood tacos from Sonora.
you like fish tacos, Fernando?
Oh yeah, I like.
Oh, bro, this place. If you like, you like chile rellenos?
Yeah, I like chile relleno.
Oh, this motherfuckers, they give you chile rellenos, marlin stuffed chile with cheese. Then they chop it up, and then they throw 3 beer battered shrimp on top of it. And like one taco is like the fucking size of your hand, bro. The first time this guy took me, I ordered 4. but because we're used to eating like 4 tacos here. I mean, we're used to eating more. Right. We're used to eating more, but I'm saying I ordered 4. I said I'll start with 4. Bro, I couldn't even finish. I could barely finish 2 of them. I was fucking stuffed. I think I ended up forcing the 3rd one down because I was like, I'm not leaving 2 tacos, man.
And they cost like, the more expensive one will cost like 40 pesos.
Yeah, like $2.
Like this with smoked marlin, the chile relleno, cheese, shrimp.
And you don't have to get marlin. You don't have to get
a big bar of sides.
You could get battered shrimp. You could get beer battered fish with beer battered shrimp. But it's not even just that. Then they have a fucking not a salad bar, but like a toppings bar, which is like with a shitload of toppings, like coleslaw, different types of coleslaw, different types of marinated onions, different types of fucking sauces, like
20 different sauces. Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't even know which one to pick, bro. It's like, it's so good. That's like my favorite place. I know. Let's go to Mexico City just to fucking have.
Let's go to Mexico City.
Oh,
you can find them in Sonora.
We go to Hermosillo. It's closer.
Yeah, that's if the Mexican government lets us in, because they're like, no, fuck you guys.
No, I think they're gonna open. Hey, so before
coronavirus,
Fernando. So before we wrap this up, before we started, you were mentioning something about. I know you work in the medical field as well.
Yeah.
You were mentioning something. You were about to tell me something. I said, no, save it for the show. Do you remember what it was?
We were talking about my dog.
Oh yeah, your dog. That's what it was.
Yeah, I say that.
So something
my dog.
Yeah.
And I said that he cost me $475 because I took him to the vet. And he's acting weird. That was the thing. Okay, so I come home. Forgot where the hell I was on Sunday night. But I came home and my dog starts acting weird. And what I mean is he's acting weird is shit I've never seen before. My dog is 12 years old, so yeah, I get it. He's old. But what he was doing is that he was pacing back and forth, right? But then he would like run into the wall face first, as if the wall wasn't there. You know what I mean? Then he'd walk around in circles, right? And he would lick the floor as he's walking around in a circle. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And licking the floor, right? So, then he would go like hide in a corner and he would shake, like he was scared of something. So I don't know what the fuck was going on. He threw up twice. So I'm like, fuck, I got to take him to the vet. And I'm already thinking he's 12 years old. They're probably just going to tell me, hey, you know what?
It's
cognitive decline. Right, exactly. He's probably going into doggy dementia for all you fucking know. Right. So I took him to the vet and they were like, well, we're going to do some blood work and some toxicology because maybe he got into something, household cleaners or something. But I'm like, okay, but I keep all that shit locked up under the sink, bathroom sink, kitchen sink, whatever.
Oh, will dogs drink that? Will dogs drink that? I would think they would smell it and go, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't think so. Plus, even if
I don't know, they eat their own shit and puke, so they're not that smart.
That is true. That is true. They eat their own shit and puke. So
that's true.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I do have like a citrus scented, household cleaner, So I don't know what happened. But anyway, everything was locked up. And it's not like if he took it out, sprayed it in his mouth and then put it back in and closed the door, it wasn't going to do that shit. So I took
maybe the dog saw that Trump thing where he was saying that you should drink Lysol to get cured, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe he was trying to fucking, he's like, fuck it. But anyway, blood work. They kept him overnight, $475, and they still haven't given me. This was Monday. They told me we'll have the results in 24 to 48 hours. It's going to be Friday, and they still haven't given me the results.
He's got COVID, bro. He's got COVID. They said that COVID results take that long. They're trying to figure it out.
Dude, that's not even a lie. I took a COVID test because it was free, right, through the LA County. So I figured, fuck it, let's make an appointment and go and figure it out. It took 15 days. Keep in mind, the quarantine period is 14 days. That means I could have had it and probably got rid of it, and then I get my results, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you're negative." I'm like,
or no, what if the 15 days went by, and then they said you were positive back when you tested?
That's possible, right? And then
now what? Now so now what? Your quarantine period's over, so you're cool or what?
Yeah. That's what I mean. I was
what?
Like, what?
Just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
So Vallarta took the test here in Mexico City, and it took 4 days or less.
4 days.
Yeah, he had it, right?
And he spent 500 pesos.
Wow.
It's like 20
bucks, 30 bucks. My brother
bucks.
took it, and he took it through the LA County, just like me. And he got his test results in 72 hours, 3 days. You know,
I took a blood test. I took a blood test for antibodies. I came out negative, so I guess they just base it on that. I mean, I haven't felt fucked up or anything, so I don't know. My twin brothers got it. My brother, well, my one brother works at King Drew Medical Center. He works, he's in the medical field, so he got it. He said people were coming in coughing and shit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I said it's just it's not if you're gonna get it, brother. I told him it's when you get it. You better
exactly.
And then so he's got a twin, and the twin got it. My stepdad got it. Luckily, my mom was taken to my other brother's house, so she didn't get it, so she was good. But they got it, and they recovered. Dude, my stepdad kept drinking. He was like getting fucked up on Bud Light.
Bro, that's probably why he got through it. Because he's like, fuck it, if I keep the alcohol content, because hand sanitizer is 60% alcohol.
But that's what he told my mom. He told my mom, el Bud Light mata el coronavirus. He told my mom that shit. Dude, straight up, he told my mom that shit, dude.
Well,
people are saying that here about mezcal and tequila.
Yeah. There you go.
Mezcal y tequila. Hey, Fernando, so quickly, one more thing before we go. I want to hear one of your stories, bro. You've told me some crazy fucking stories.
I don't even know if he ended up the dog story.
No, he did. The dog's okay.
No, that was it.
There's no result. Has he been doing the same shit, though? He's still running into the walls?
No, but look at him now.
He's knocked out. Did they give him medicine?
They actually did, bro.
So he's knocked out.
Yeah, because one of the things that the vet said, he said it could also have been stress. And I'm like, stress? What the fuck? He doesn't have a job.
Running into the wall.
Right, he's not going through a divorce. What the fuck? What do you mean stress? And like, it could be stress, man. So he gave me I joked and I said it was like dog marijuana, but no, it's like a little pill. It's a sedative basically. And that's
people are buying CBD drops for dogs here.
Well, maybe it was something like that, but it calms them down. And this is what happens. Look.
So humans are taking dog pills?
Look at that shit. He's out.
What would happen if a human took that pill?
I'll let you know tomorrow.
What? You gonna take one or what?
No.
No, but hey, what I remember you telling us a story one time. I think somebody had something in their rectum or something with somebody's penis or some shit.
Both. See, so I work in the medical field, right? Okay. Horacio, that's one part I didn't talk to you about earlier, but I work in the medical field. I'm a surgical technologist at a hospital here. So I assist in surgery. I set up, for surgery cases. Basically, I pass instruments, that sort of thing, So everything that comes down, like the emergencies, whatever, if we're assigned to the emergency room, we get. And usually, like on a Friday, Saturday night, if you're on call, that sort of shit, and they call you in. And if it's a foreign body, if they say, oh, you got to come in for a foreign body extraction, it's going to be two things. It's always, no, wait. So here's the thing. It's going to be two things. You have to look at the age of the patient. If the patient is a kid, then he's going to have a bean in his nose or a bean in his ear or swallowed a penny or something like that. Okay. But if it's an adult, it's usually a man and he has something up his ass. Right. And it's either going to be a flashlight or really popular, like shampoo bottles. You know, shampoo bottles, and they're like, oh, I slipped and I fell and she went up my ass. Yeah, right, buddy. Yeah, right. That's exactly what happened.
Well, it was soapy.
I know exactly what it was. Soapy, it was wet, and I slipped, and you know, we had a dude come in one time, and this is the story that I think Cisco's talking about. This guy, you have to try to imagine it because it is so difficult to figure it out how he did it, because I look at my dick and nope, there's no way in hell that I could have done what he did. What he did is he got an electrical cord, okay, and he tied it into a knot, right? So not the whole cord, just, you know, a knot. And he put the knot, and when I say he tied it into a knot, the knot was about this big. You know, like
something like this?
Yes, and then but he made it into a knot, into a circle.
Yeah.
Okay. And he put the big side, the knot side, into his penis. How the hell did he do that?
He shoved it in his pee hole? He shoved it in his pee hole?
He shoved it in his pee hole.
What the fuck?
And he put it in all the way into his bladder. The thing is,
what the
once it's in his bladder, so he had an electrical cord sticking out of his penis, right? And I guess what he was thinking about doing is that he was going to pull the cord and the thing was going to come out. But it didn't. It got stuck in his bladder because the pee hole's, you know, small. So when he came in, by the way, he had been that way like for 2 fucking days. You know what I mean? So when he finally came in to the operating room, we actually had to open him up. We had to open his stomach, open his bladder, and get the cord out through his abdomen, because there's no way that it was going to come out of his penis. Absolutely not.
Dude,
you know,
when they put that, how do you say isopo, like a Q-tip?
A sopo, yeah, like a Q-tip, yeah.
When they put one of those in your dick, it fucking hurts like hell.
Right? Really? Does it?
Yeah.
was that an examination or something or what?
Yeah, it was an examination. I didn't do it for fun.
You were raw dogging a chick or what? You were raw dogging a chick? Really?
Like really, really clean.
No condom? You were using no condom over here? What?
No, dude, it was an examination. I don't even remember what for.
They probably didn't like you. They just added that shit in there.
Exactly, bro.
You probably gave him attitude like, oh, this guy's getting a Q-tip in his dick.
Or they made a bet. Like, I bet you I can shove a Q-tip up this guy's dick. And the doctor's like, you're on, bro. You're on. One fucking
He's not going to let you. I bet you he does. I bet you he does.
I bet you lets me put a Q-tip on his dick.
He's in here because he's got the flu. But I'm going to shove a Q-tip in his dick.
This is how we test for COVID. Q-tip up your dick.
He's here because he needs a vaccine, but I'm going to shove a Q-tip inside his dick.
Well, the thing is, that shit hurts. How can you? It's not like this big, right?
Yeah, dude.
How is that physically possible?
That's what I'm saying. You have to try to imagine it.
So let me ask you something. So did he bend it and then shove it in like this, or was it like did he stick a skinny piece in and then slowly stick it in, and then the knot went in as well?
No, he bended it because there was no.
So it wasn't a U. Yeah, he shoved the knot in first and was sticking it in.
No, bro. Even worse than that. It was several loops, like several U's, and then he tied it like with the cord itself. He made it in the middle. He made it thick. How the hell did he put that up his dick? Not a clue. So he must have gotten one, like you said, maybe one part of the knot, like that's a U, and put that in first, and then just kept pushing, because there's just no way in hell. There's no other way in hell that he could get that in there. How?
But we still don't. What was his reason? Because you know, I said they gave a reason. Did he give a reason? Like, I slipped and I found a shampoo bottle.
No,
like,
you know what?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, dude. he straight up admitted it was for sexual gratification. I don't know, man. Some people get off with some weird shit. And I will tell you this much. Most of the guys, actually every single time that we get a patient, you know, with something up their ass, it's always a man, always in their 40s, you know, and they're usually single, you know. Every now and then you'll get a married man. But I start thinking, well, fuck, I'm in my 40s. I'm single. You know, if I ever get the urge to stick something up my ass, bro, it's gonna be.
Why are you only using one AirPod?
No, I have two, man. I don't know where the other one is, bro. I slipped and I sat on it accidentally. I don't know where the fuck it went.
Is that the craziest one?
Oh no, I've seen some pretty crazy shit. But as far as foreign bodies, like someone sticking something up there, yeah, that one's pretty crazy. We had a dude come in with carrots up his ass. You know?
Now let me ask you something. Here's a weird question from a heterosexual male. Was the guy well hung that he shoved the fucking cable in there?
Average. He was average. I would say an average penis.
So
yeah.
so he had to get an erection to shove that shit in there.
I would say yes. Well, he said sexual gratification, so I'm gonna go with yes. You know what I mean? He had to have been hard to.
That sounds like super fucking crazy.
You know
what's crazy?
But
Absolutely
you know what?
Crazy.
But you know what? I interviewed when I had my radio show at Sirius. I interviewed a fetish call girl, and trip out on this. So these are the fetishes. There was dudes that liked women to poop on their chest.
Oh shit! Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, and they paid for that. There was guys whose fetish was to be dominated. They would give the woman their whole check, their entire paycheck, and give it to the girl. And the girl would say, I'm gonna take, here's $5 so you fucking live, so you can live off of it. Shit like they wanted that. They wanted a girl who could dominate. So I'm like, how the fuck these guys pay their rent?
Right.
Like if they're giving their whole check away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then there was men who liked women to put high heels on and step on their genitalia.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that shit too, man. That's fucking weird. That is.
And they
weird.
got erections off of that. So imagine a girl with high heels just stepping on your balls and on your penis,
no.
and then and you're getting erect off of this.
That's crazy shit.
And people pay good money for. So, I mean, like I've said before, I've said this before to people. I say nothing surprises me.
No,
it's just,
absolutely not.
Nothing can shock me when you hear of kids, you know, being put in cages. And I'm not talking about the government, but like parents who have had their kids in cages and just fucking. I mean, when you hear of such terrible things like that, nothing else can surprise me. Nothing else can. Right. The guy shoving a cable, it's just weird for you to confirm to me what I already know, that people can do some pretty heinous shit or some crazy shit, not only to other people, but to themselves.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we had a guy come in one day. This was a trip. We had a guy come in who had an avocado up his ass. Now, this one. He
was making guacamole. He was making guacamole. Yeah. He was making guacate la mole.
Guacacamole. That's what it was. Guacacamole. All right, that's what it fucking was.
Guacamole.
He had an avocado up his ass, but the avocado was huge. I'd never seen avocados that big. It was a big avocado.
It wasn't a Haas. It wasn't a Haas avocados. Those other big ones.
The big avocados, right?
Yeah.
And this guy had a plan. This guy, he did not come in and say, I slipped on it. No. He came in and said it was because of sexual gratification. But what he did is that he put the avocado in a plastic bag. Then he put the lube on the bag and he shoved the bag up his ass with the avocado in it. And so it's a plastic bag with the handles on it, like that you get at the supermarket, right? And so the handles were hanging out of his ass. And his plan was to pull the plastic bag out of his ass using the handles. But it got stuck up there so well that when he pulled, the plastic bag tore. And now there's an avocado up his ass, okay? So here we are. And we can see it. Okay, we can see it. We have the guy's asleep. We have him up in lithotomy position, which means his legs are up, in stirrups, right? And we have a retractors in his asshole that is stretching his asshole out to like about 6 inches, all right? And we can see it, but we can't reach it, And the doctor's like, the doctor is at this close to giving up, trying to reach it through his rectum, and we were just going to open him up and get it through his stomach, and that's all you got to do. And then one of my coworkers comes in who does a lot of gynecological surgery, right? And there's something called uterine fibroids, and they're benign tumors in the uterus. And sometimes, you get a corkscrew, like they look exactly the same kind of corkscrew that you open a wine bottle, except it's bigger, right? And sometimes to get those uterine fibroids out, you use a corkscrew. That's the old way of doing it. They don't do that anymore, but we still have those available, right? So they would just screw in the cork, into the uterine fibroid and then pull it out. So this guy comes in and we're like, yeah, look at this, man. Could you believe this? And my friend looks at it, coworker, and he goes, and we were talking about how we can't get it out. And he was like, well, how about the tongs, like for delivering babies, like to get the head and they pull it out.
Forceps,
and they're like,
oh, here.
Yeah, the calipers, So we're like, well, let's go, let's try that. So we had to call labor and delivery. They brought some down. We couldn't get it out. We couldn't get it around around the avocado enough to get it out. So then he said, well, how about the corkscrew? And he goes, put it in the pit inside the avocado, screw it into the pit and then you can pull it out. And we're like, oh shit. So we tried that and it fucking worked, right? We pulled out the avocado and we were like, wow, cool. Everybody was talking about it. Could you believe this shit? Weird. The next day, the patient shows up to the hospital with a box of avocados and he wants to give it to the doctor. And, like, hey, thank you for helping me out, right? So the doctor takes that box of avocados and puts it in the nurse's lounge. And he's like, fuck that. I'm not eating these avocados. You know what I mean? Yeah, fuck that. And I looked at it, I'm like, fuck that. I ain't eating these avocados, right? Because, and everyone starts talking about it. Oh, that's from the patient that had an avocado up his ass yesterday. But you know what? After a while, people were like, fuck it, I'll just wash it. And at the end of the day, every single avocado was gone. Everyone took one.
Damn.
Everyone took one.
Hey, they were like, fuck it, avocados are expensive, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, fuck it. And he brought
what kind of avocado is this? It smells like lube.
Dude, that's
what
fucking
kind of avocado?
That's fucking that's
avocado.
How about women? Have women ever come in with some weird shit?
There was one woman one time who came in who actually, it wasn't really weird. What it was a piece of her panties had ripped. Her boyfriend, I take it, did not bother trying to take off her panties when he tried to penetrate her. He just went through the fucking panties. This guy must have had the bionic penis that we were talking about earlier. What was it called? El macho bionico?
El macho bionico.
Yeah, this guy must have had a bionic penis because it tore through the panties. And what happened is that a piece of the cloth got stuck up by her cervix, inside the vagina, up by her cervix. It got lodged in there. And it had stayed there, I don't know how long. But when she came to us, what her chief complaint was a very foul odor, very bad smell, right? And so what it was is that this piece of cloth was starting to rot, inside the vaginal cavity. And so we went in there and we fished it out. But this is not something that a woman did to herself. This is something that
it's an accident. Yeah.
Yeah. Her boyfriend couldn't wait to take her panties off. He just went straight through.
That was Victoria's Secret.
Exactly. No, those are JCPenney cheap panties.
That's how the fuck. You gotta be horny as hell to say, fuck taking the panties off. I'm going
exactly.
through them. Like,
I'm going through the panties.
Like,
that's why they say crotchless panties.
Crotchless panties. Yeah, like 2 seconds.
That's why they were invented.
Like
I think that's what happened. Yeah, he tore through the panties and he said, you know what? This is a good idea. I think I should invent crotchless panties.
That's fucking weird, dude. Working in the surgery room, I'm sure you witness some weird shit, like the craziest shit. Like other than sexual stuff, has there been anything else that's weird that's not sexual, like nothing to do with the genitalia? Oh, yeah. Like what's the weird?
Man, you see a lot of weird
things people do to themselves.
Things that people do to themselves. No, not where I work. Other than sticking shit up their ass.
How about anything with oral sex? Has anybody ever been like sick from oral sex or something?
Yes. It's common for women to get HPV. The human papillomavirus. It's common. Yeah. Almost every woman gets it eventually, right? And for most women, HPV clears up, it goes away. But for some women, it turns into cervical cancer, right? Well, the thing is that most recently, I'd say within the past few years, it was always considered something that women get. Women get HPV. Yeah. And they would say, well, a man gets it too, but it clears up on a man. But see, they were thinking on his penis. They were never considering on his tongue. And people are getting tongue cancer because of HPV. It works the same way as it does in the cervix on a woman. On a man, and on lesbians, I'm sure, they're starting to get tongue cancer. Actually, Michael Douglas. Remember Michael Douglas?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Michael Douglas got tongue cancer because of HPV.
So
he straight out and said it.
So how do you get it on your tongue? Like from oral sex, but like what, the woman has it down there and then you contract it?
Yeah.
I thought it had something to do with anal or something. I thought somebody had mentioned that.
HPV, it could also lead to anal warts. You know what I mean? That sort of thing, right? But for most people, it's not a big deal. Most people have it, don't even know it, and it goes away. You don't even know you have it.
So they don't give you nothing? They don't give you like medicine or something for it?
For HPV? Yeah. There's a vaccine. There's a vaccine you can get as a.
So if you have a vaccine, so they don't give it to us as kids? Like you got to get that vaccine?
You know what? You and I know, because I don't think they had it when we were kids. This is something that's relatively new. You know what I mean? Like my daughter's 21 now, but when she was 12, her pediatrician kept pushing it. She's like, we really should. It's called Gardasil. Like we really should give her the HPV vaccine. And at that point, I had already been separated. You know what I mean? And so I had to discuss it with my daughter's mom. And my daughter's mom at first was against it. She's like, we don't know what's in this vaccine. It's too new, blah, blah, blah. And of course, since I have access to a lot of doctors, I would speak to them. I'm like, what do you think? Tell me, what do you think? Every single doctor would say the exact same thing. Have her take it. You should have your daughter take it. Absolutely. And then one of them straight up said, look, here's the thing, okay? What if your daughter is one of these unlucky women that later on in life gets cervical cancer and you could have prevented it by getting the vaccine? How are you going to feel then?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, you know what? And that's what I told, my daughter's mom. And then she agreed. I told her those exact words.
Be like, I came home. I told my daughter, honey, you're going to the monastery. You're not getting fucking. I'm not giving you the vaccine. I'm not giving you the vaccine, and you're going to become a nun. Fuck that shit. That's how we're going to prevent HPV.
Guys, you live in Los Angeles. There's a lot of crazy people there. Do you have lots of those anti-vaccines guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of people
that's fucked up. They're like super stupid.
Well, yeah, I've read a lot of propaganda that vaccines cause autism, this and that. But then somebody, and I was kind of buying into it. I ain't gonna lie. But then somebody, pointed out to me and said, "Look, dude, because of vaccines, there's less measles in the world. There's less polio in the world.
There's no polio almost.
Yeah, there's no polio almost." And they just started pointing shit out, and I'm like,
measles, smallpox. And
yeah, all that shit. I'm like, fuck, that makes sense. It's true. It's true. I think the majority of the people who are anti-vaccines is because something happened to somebody in their family and they want to blame it on the vaccine. Like they don't know what it was and they're trying to find, everybody finds a blame, like who to point the finger at. And I think that like, if you have a brother and he's got multiple sclerosis or something, you're like, it's that fucking vaccine, man. He was all right.
Fucking vaccine.
He was all right.
This happened.
Yeah, he was all right before he got that shit.
Right.
So yeah. So I
actually know a doctor who is a virologist. Her specialty is on viruses, and like, for example, if you ever want to do a show about COVID-19 or any virus, any related sicknesses or whatever, I'm sure they should be more than happy.
Oh yeah,
to get on
dude.
the podcast.
Hell yeah. I want people. I don't just want comedians. I want doctors. I want fucking lawyers. I want everything, bro.
Oh yeah, let's schedule it. I'll talk to her. I'll send her a message, and I'm sure she'll be more than happy. I think she lives in Seattle. She's not here. She's not based in LA. I think she's based in Washington. But I'm sure she'll be more than happy to get on the podcast. We're gonna ask her questions about different shit, viruses, a bunch of different shit, and she's very smart.
Dude, I want to do that.
Right?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, she's really stupid, but when it comes to viruses, she knows her shit.
Okay, but wait a minute, bro. I'm sorry. I do have to point out. Maybe I shouldn't say anything in case somebody sees this and they're like, I know who that guy is. But I do work with some doctors that are fucking stupid. You know what I mean? You're like, are you serious, bro? But they're the doctor. They're the ones that are calling the shots. You just gotta, look back and go, okay, and document it.
But I think
that's all you can do.
But I think doctors all base their knowledge on the way they were taught. I don't think it's their fault per se.
You're right.
That's me on the outside looking in, because if you, like, I tell my wife, because my wife says, oh, the fucking doctor this. Oh. She goes, I'm going to go to another doctor. I go, look, honey, if you go to 10 doctors, you're going to get 10 different recommendations.
Yeah.
They're all different. I go, we need doctors, but you gotta also know what doctors are, who they are. Doctors will only go with what they know. Like, a doctor cannot 100% cure you, because what does a doctor say to you? Okay, you have a little inflammation. We're going to try this, and then we're going to see how you feel. And if that doesn't work, we'll do something else. I'm like, well, fuck, man. I could do that myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could take some fucking ibuprofen. And if that shit don't work, I'll try some Tylenol. And if that shit don't work, then I'll take some naproxen. If that shit doesn't work, I'll do crack. Fuck, like I could, I'll find, like, I can do that to myself. I don't need to fucking pay your ass to try shit.
It's not that easy, dude. It's not that easy.
No, but
you fuck up with what you think you Googled, and you take something that does a counter effect on what you're having.
I get that.
You can make some major damage to yourself.
I get that, but
never self-medicate.
I get that, but nowadays, so you could go online, type up your symptom. Now, granted, one symptom could be fucking a plethora of things. Like, it could be
dude.
Yeah. But if you can narrow the symptoms down that you're feeling and all that, you can get. It's the same thing a doctor's gonna do. Like, they don't know what you got. You could have one of 4 things, and they're gonna give you something to treat the first one. Okay, that didn't work. That eliminates that one. Now let's try this. That didn't work. Let's say, okay, it worked this time. All right, so we know it's this. That's the way we're, because my wife has had a problem with pain in her chest for a long time. They told her it was costochondritism, or like inflammation of the duodenum, or where the fuck it is right here, it's called, whatever, of the chest, or the sternum, or whatever. Like, there's something under your sternum and it's swollen or whatever. I'm like, well, isn't it the fucking heart? Like, underneath it, like, but like,
well, it's so same area, but
yeah, costochondritis, she says, costochondritis, or some shit like that. Then they told her, no, it's not that. Then they told her something else. Then they tell her something else. Then they tell her, no, it's because you have a not high blood pressure, but this. Then it's you got this. So I'm like, they're fucking guessing. And it's like, and sometimes it's the same doctor, and sometimes it's another doctor that we go to. They still, look, this has been 15 years. They still haven't figured out what it is.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not knocking doctors. I mean, fuck, dude. Anyone who goes to school for that many years, my respect, right. Shit, you know? But it's all guesswork in a lab coat, dude. It really is. I mean,
well, like I think what they try to do, a lot of the doctors, is they try to go to the most obvious diagnosis first. Yeah. Like what you just said. Let's try to go for the simple one first, and then eliminate it, you know, and then keep going, and then we'll find out, you know. And then sometimes, you know, like if you tell them, well, doc, I have a pain here, I think I need an MRI. They're like, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You know what I mean? Because MRIs are expensive, you know, that sort of shit. So, but yeah, you're absolutely right. And what you were saying about going on you know, on the internet, on Google, for example, like WebMD, you can type in your symptoms. I once was sick. I typed in my symptoms. I put, you know, I had nausea, headache, dizziness, blah, blah, blah. Motherfucker told me I was pregnant, bro.
Forget that.
You know what I mean?
No, forget. Hey, you put nausea, dizzy, forget it. That's like, that's a
those
million.
are symptoms for everything.
Try to Google how to get a huge avocado out of your ass.
It says I have menopause. What the fuck? Cold sweats, hot flashes.
Avocadoectomy.
No, dude. But hey, for sure, I want to get that doctor on. That'd be cool.
How do you say tomografía? You know what that is?
No, tomografía, no.
For sure. I've heard about it in Spanish.
So I'm not doing that. I just had a catheter.
And they just put like something that it's a medio de contraste.
Yeah.
Like to contrast your blood in a scan.
Yeah, it's
tomography.
Okay, so it's a contrast media, basically. Yeah. So they put it in your IV, all right, and then they do the X-ray thing to see where your blood flow is going.
They put you through a thing like looks like Stargate.
Oh yeah.
I just had that like a week ago.
It's an MRI. It's an MRI tube, you know, or a CAT scan.
Hey, so you ever heard of people putting like magnets on their like wrists because supposedly alleviate?
I've heard of that.
It finally dawned on me why that can possibly work. Because of the iron in our blood. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not, if it actually works, but you know what? And a lot of the times it could just be something as simple as fucking what's the word I'm looking for?
Pendejadas?
It could be a pendejada. No.
Science?
Yes, something like that. You know, like a placebo effect.
Yeah.
So they think it works, so therefore it's actually working because they think
like homeopathy.
Yeah, exactly.
But isn't that like
believe it works?
Isn't that like is that the truth with a lot of shit? Like, I mean, how many times have you seen the placebo effect work? It works.
It works.
People fucking believe they're cured, and it's like now they're cured. It's crazy, dude. I believe in all that shit.
That's what you got to do with your wife, Cisco. You got to be like, mija, look, take this mezcal. This shit's going to make your pain in the chest go away.
Now we know why we got pain in the chest. You got HPV. Fuck that shit.
This is magic mezcal. Magic mezcal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She don't
magic
drink.
Tequila.
Dude, she won't take pills. She's like, fuck those pills. Like, she won't. Like, I was just reading that 80% of people don't take the pills doctors give them. 80%.
Oh, it's possible. It is very possible.
It's a high percentage.
Dude, when I got into a car accident,
I'm taking like 9 pills a day. Like if I were 65.
You're taking 9?
I'm taking like 9 pills a day. Yes.
What's wrong with you, bro?
I'm seeing a cardiologist. I think I had something close to a heart attack. It wasn't. They've scanned me. My heart is okay. So they're looking for whatever the fuck happened to me.
Well, you better stop smoking, bro.
I've quit.
Okay,
I haven't smoked in 3 weeks and a half.
Yeah,
for the first time in 25 years.
The last time you were on the podcast, you were fucking smoking. And you're even showing off the little fucking picture of the baby on a respirator and shit. You ever seen packs of cigarettes in Mexico, Fernando?
Yeah,
I still have a pack here.
So on the packs of cigarettes, they'll put smoking is dangerous, and they'll put a baby with a fucking like oxygen going up its nose.
Oh shit! You're like
this one is not that ugly.
What is that?
You know what this is?
What is that?
Smoking impotence.
Oh, impotence.
Look at the cigarette, bro. It's like, yeah.
There's some have like a dead rat on it. Shit, like they'll put a dead rat on there, causes cancer. Like
Hey.
Who gives cigarettes to a rat? That's the question.
That is true, bro.
What were you
Who
gonna say,
gives
Fernando?
cigarettes to a
What were you gonna say,
fucking
Fernando?
rat? My phone is about to die, bro.
Oh yeah, we're done,
Yeah.
man. Well, thank you guys for coming on today, man. I mean, shit, almost two and a half damn hours, man. That's
Wow.
I was saying that I was gonna cut it to an hour and a half, and here we went 2.5 hours. But it's just some interesting shit. I'm sure like people who watch this will enjoy it, man. I thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. Let's do this shit.
Siempre un placer.
I'll talk to that doctor.